Hello and welcome. Welcome to Drakenmemoria. For those of you wondering what this is, well, it's Dungeon & Dragon. Or more specifically, a group of people playing Dungeon & Dragon. And even more specifically, tonight, 4 people, a Dungeon Master, and a picture playing Dungeons & Dragon. Because unfortunately, Fisher could not be with us tonight. He might be able to join us for the second half, but probably not. So, if all of this is not something you want to watch, well, if you're watching this on Twitch or YouTube, you're in luck. They give suggestion, and you can just pick one, and we won't hold a grudge for long.
I will.
You have to give them something at least, you know. You won't hold the grudge
No
for
excuses. I'm holding a grudge to like 7 billion people today
Damn.
for not watching our show.
Right.
Yeah.
I admire this. I appreciate it. It's not necessary, but honestly, I'm very flattered. All right. And of course, if you want to watch all this, including all of those silly comments we keep giving and stupid reference and so on, well, welcome. It's a pleasure to have you with us. If you're new, welcome. And if you're not new, you're back from a previous session, like Valen V or Torchblade. Welcome back. It's also a pleasure to have you with us, and we hope you will all have a pleasant evening tonight. Publicity-wise, well, if you like the thunderstorm in the background, ambient mixer, battle maps, Dungeon Alchemist, world map, WonderDraft. And that's about it.
At Drakenmemoria on Twitter.
Yes, absolutely. Usually I say this at the end, but I think not a lot of people listen all the way to the end of the credits. So, yes, if you enjoy us, please subscribe, follow, leave a like. Especially if you're watching this on YouTube. It helps. Hey, and if you want to give something, you know, subscribe here on Twitch, become a Patreon, you can make donations. I should probably write it somewhere on the screen, but we only have four subscribers right now. So if you want to be part of those subscribers, please do not hesitate. It is very much appreciated, as I do not plan on giving food samples during the weekend for the rest of my life for a living. Yeah. So, anything else? Do we have an unofficial sponsor for tonight? Someone that doesn't know that he's actually sponsoring us? Oh, damn.
Trader Joe's vegan banana bread.
Nice!
I might eat it all, but I would be eating it now if I had any.
Well, you know, I have a problem with people saying vegan banana bread. So long as people don't start calling bread gluten-free, I can let it slide, but come on. Gluten-free bread, that's not bread, that's just cake. It's not the same thing. I know, I'm a baker, so I have a specific opinion on this.
Arguably not even cake.
Arguably, yes. I did meet someone who would be very, very in agreement with you. Not even a cake, but, you know, I'm a baker. I'm not a pastry chef, so. Oh, I didn't mean to say that vegan or gluten-free or anything free can't be good. I'm just saying, don't call it bread. To answer Torchblade in the comments. And that's about it. Apparently, vegan stuff and gluten-free stuff were the hidden sponsors. All right, so Let's get
Like
started.
brought to you by the concept of gluten.
You'd be surprised, but it's actually usually good for you. All right, so where were we last episode? We were fighting gluten. No, we were trying to make sure that the group does not end up dead. So, last episode, the party reached the small town they had been traveling to in the hope of throwing off balance anyone looking for them. As they arrived, they noticed the town had been attacked, damaged. People were slightly worried also. Selflessly, well, mostly, offering their help to repair the town's gate, they learned of a failed attempt from a group of unscrupulous God damn it, rebel to raid the town. Our hero, hoping to enlist these rebels in order to help them in their ultimate goal, attacking the spire of the wizard, came up with a plan, sort of, to make these rebels their new ally, or get them out in the open and kill them all. We're not sure yet what the real plan is, as the audience will confirm. I don't think even he is sure of which one is the real plan. But mostly, this is what is happening here. And since even I do not know if this is going to devolve into a fight, well, I prepared a little battle map just in case. I forgot to put Fisher's picture in here. Hold on. Photos. Fisher's photos. Here we go. Now we have Fisher also. Alright. And for my players, well, although it is not a fight yet, you never know. App. Please, oh goodness. Discord is lagging. Alright. So, this is where you are look like. Yes.
Oh God.
Yeah, I even made a small path. Arguably, yes, this is slightly larger than I thought when I started placing the characters in there, but that's mostly how it feels. So, this is where we left off. Audience and Remy, accompanied by their liaison, Rebel, decided to move forward about 60 feet in front of everyone to meet with a group, well, two representatives of the rebels in front of them. The rest of the party staying behind. Audience, Remy, and this NPC, which was, if I remember, called Gelben, accompanied them in front. Audience insisting to stop before reaching the enemies. Sachet having confirmed to audience that there are at least or roughly 20 people watching all around, mostly being hidden. Although Remy with passive perception this high, let's see. With passive perception this high, so
You can actually see into the ethereal realm, and they have their own cuddles on standby. He knows it's a cuddles because of how big they are.
Alright. Technically, I'm placing some token a little bit outside the map because audience did sense the area and within 60 feet he didn't feel anything. But that was when he was with everyone. So... this is the map that you see. This is the map that audience, Fisher, Tobiyashi might be able to see. No, covered line of sight. So not even Tobiyashi, not even Sachet, and not even George. So the map that is shown right now is what everyone sees. Remy, you know that there are more than this, but this is what your passive perception allows you to see. You
All right,
sort of
so I'd like to roll to run away.
screaming.
Yeah, don't fuck us.
Just whisper to Sachet. If Toby runs, kill him.
Oh my god.
Send cuddles after him.
If anyone runs, they die.
They can smell fear.
Audience is becoming a dictator.
Well, we were arguing about audience through alignment before the stream, so...
Audience is slowly just becoming true evil. Don't worry about it.
Well, right now, he's more becoming neutral
Yeah.
good than lawful good, but...
That's the as they say, that's the first step towards true evil. You just haven't got there yet.
Alright, so, like I said, Remy, you are able to see those people watching from afar. So you know that they are everywhere around, but you've also heard what Sachet said, even though... No, actually, I'm not sure you did hear. I think audience took Sachet aside to know what...
I did take Sachet aside, so
So-
the other guy couldn't hear.
So yeah, so as far as you can tell, Remy, this might actually be everything that's there. Probably not. You're a rogue. You know how this works. But
You could smell it in the air.
it could be. You know, there's a small possibility that it's actually just this. Small.
You can
To
convince yourself.
borrow a phrase that he's heard before, it's like there's never just one rat in the house.
I'm also the only one that knows that if Sachet makes everything dark, something bad might happen.
And I had to plan for that too, because I don't know what's gonna happen tonight. I had a whole lot of fun creating that possibility.
We have a multitude of scenarios.
Yeah.
Let's see if I can make all of them happen.
Well, in case you do manage to make this happen, I want to apologize to players, as I might be taking the voice of some of those rebels who might say things which some people might consider offensive toward people, toward women, toward things living in general.
All right. I don't know what that means.
So
but
what's
it's
that,
exciting
love?
to
You gonna
find out.
cry? Gonna cry like a little bitch?
Go cry. Little baby boy.
All right. So, as you requested, audience, you wanted to stop before reaching. Well, it's not raining right now because if anything else, there might be a little bit of snow.
I basically just didn't want to go any further in case they'd had like a specific location with traps set up. And I'm like, listen, they're already here. Might as well stop here.
All right. Well, apparently there's a fair bit of wind right now, and it's starting to snow. And Jorg, with how used you are to how the weather works, you are easily deducing that, oh goodness, audience, hurry up! There's a storm coming.
It's okay. We got our
Storms
rings.
a-bruising.
We got our rings. We can do like Russia in World War II. We'll just freeze them out or stall for time.
Yeah, my bad leg gets sore, so I know there's a storm coming.
So yeah, from your perspective, you would even say that there's a blizzard coming.
Oh my.
It's probably going to be here within the next hour. So
It's okay. We put up our dome. We go inside. They freeze to death.
It'll take 10 minutes.
well,
We
Yeah.
just have to fend them off for 10 minutes.
Casting.
well,
Sarcastic.
well, with the exception of Tobiyashi, I think you all have your ring of warmth. So
I
I have it on.
I don't.
oh, okay. So audience
I
gonna.
mean, visibility's gonna be pretty bad, but if we huddle,
Listen, audience grew up in this kind of winter. He at least feels like he could outlast some rebels in a battle of cold.
yeah,
are you wearing a shirt?
that's all he's wearing.
Yes, my ripped shirt, my shirt of ripping.
Oh yeah.
I'm also wearing a cloak. To be fair, because they don't know I'm a dragonborn. They're still yet
It's
to
a
know.
shirt. It's a shirt that that is like air quote technically dressed.
I'm also wearing a cloak with my hood up.
Yeah.
So
All right, so you arrive at this position, and all you can see are the two members of this organization that are the orange one on the map.
okay.
Only Remy sees hints of the other ones, and maybe Cuddles.
Wait, so we see the yellow ones.
Yes,
not
you
the
see.
orange.
You all see the yellow ones. Although for Fisher, Seshay, Tobiyashi, and Jorg, they're very far away.
Yeah.
So for you, audience, they are about 15 to 20
5,
feet
10,
away.
15. Yeah, they're 20 feet away.
So, as you arrive, you see one of them just looking at all of you. And so, you said you wanted to make an offer.
Something like that. I think that both of our parties have a similar end goal in mind, although we do maybe have different ways of going about it.
All right? So, how do you want to start this conversation?
Why don't we start with what both of our party wants? I see no better. I'll start. For one, I would like it if you left that village alone and honestly stopped using innocent lives to further your goals of defeating the wizard.
What's it to you? Why do you
Um,
care so much about this village? This station, sorry.
why don't we start with basic human well, I wouldn't even say human. Why don't we start with basic morality?
Ah, I see. You're that kind
Also-
of adventurer. Always careful about hurting those who won't even defend themselves.
I mean, I'm all for getting a cause done, but I also think if you're making yourself as bad, if not worse, than the person you're trying to defeat, then what's the point of stopping them in the first place?
Now, what's the point of helping people that don't even want to help themselves?
You don't have to help them, but you also don't have to kill them.
They're in the way.
I mean,
they're
are
providing they're providing food for the enemy. They are providing.
What I heard is they're providing food for potentially another rebel group. I didn't think of them as the enemy, since both of you would have the same cause in mind.
They're paying their tax. They're sending food to the few remaining organic members of the Spire. They are sending food to those protecting the entrance of the Spire. They're sending food to those helping develop new machines to help the spire.
Well, it seems that there are pretty easy ways around this then. Why not just take the food? I mean, they were in a cart with, like, very few guards. You guys have quite a few men, it seems like. Why not just go take the cart, take the food, send them back alive to their, families? That solves the problem and no innocents get hurt.
I agree completely. It would solve the problem. The only problem is that they don't want to give the food. Because it belongs to someone else. And they don't want to get involved into these problems of standing up to the wizard.
I mean, again, I feel like you have a lot more men. You could not give them a choice to give the food if you just took it on the road. You obviously knew where the cart was going to go.
Now we're getting into something that's a little bit more common ground. So you're okay with taking stuff from people. And what do if they don't want to give? If they're willing to fight for it, to fight for the wizard, make sure that the wizard gets that food, gets those tools, gets those machines, those arcane users.
You give them an ultimatum. I honestly think if in military, I was raised in a military village, I think at that point you can give them an ultimatum. Be like, listen, you're obviously going to lose. You have 5 guys against, I don't know, our 20, 30. You're going to die here. Is this cause, is fighting for the wizard, truly worth your lives? And perhaps, your family's growing up without fathers, brothers, And I think if they're still willing to stand up and fight for that, then I could be willing to see and consider them an enemy member if they're willing to give their lives for that. However, if they at that point choose to stand down, take the food, be on your way, no one gets hurt.
Well, then, what do you do if they try and plead? They can't spare the food. They
can't spare the food? I thought they were giving it to the wizard.
Oh, yes, of course. They're giving it to the wizard, but they do not intend on not giving it to the wizard. So if you take it, they have to take it from their reserve and give it to the wizard. So they can't spare the food. So what do you do then? They're afraid of what the wizard might do to them. They don't want to get involved in this. They're very happy plowing their field, gathering their food, and paying their tax.
You make it obvious that the food was stolen, and if the wizard still requests more food, then that's up to them to either say no or yes. There's only so much you can do in a war. I recognize this, but I still think you as a group could be doing better.
Oh, we're doing the best we can. We are taking what needs to be taken, and of course we always give them a choice. Do you think we did not ask them for their food over and over every single year? But every single year they do the same thing. They prefer providing for the wizard.
Honest question, did you put the rune on their cart that attracted the zombie?
Of course.
As I assumed, I don't really think that was much of a choice. I think there are plenty of better ways to go about that than unleashing an undead on them that they have no
but that's because
ability
you weren't there
to reason
before.
with.
When we did ask them, and they said no. They did not want to get involved.
Okay,
but
again,
they had
I
a
think
surplus of food. They wanted to go and sell it into the city when they could simply have given it to us.
Anyway, I think we're getting slightly off track. We could stand here and argue the different moralities all day. This is the request I think we're making as a party. I'd be happy to hear what now you would like to request.
Incidentally, just throwing this out there. It's like, do they actually sincerely what they believe, or are they just like, and I'm going to put it more crassly, morally jerking themselves off?
You can roll an insight for this.
Oh, Jesus. Yeah, that'll be just a straight up 28.
Okay.
Damn.
God damn.
So you get your impression of this is they're being honest toward their point of view. Meaning they really do feel justified in what they're doing. And the fact that people don't want to help them is a proof for them that they are siding against them. They are very much deeply entrenched into that philosophy of if you're not with us, then you're against us because you might become a problem. But everything they're saying feels extremely honest. They probably really did give an ultimatum to the village. They probably really gave them an option. But their answer is their interpretation of what they answered, and not necessarily the actual answer the village gave.
So basically, building their viewpoint off of
Their viewpoint.
Which is why I moved on, because I was like, I'm not gonna have a morality debate with this guy for the next 10 years.
It's very much a self-fulfilling prophecy
Yeah.
thing for them.
Which again, just a small hint of just like morally jerking themselves off right in front of audience. It's like, oh yeah, we did everything we could, and look what they.
You see, everything's white everywhere. No, sorry.
Audience recognizes this. He tried. Now he's gonna. That's why he moved on.
Okay. So, what was the last question you said?
Oh, I basically moved on. I'm like, listen, this is the request we're making as a group. Like, what is the? I was basically like, I'm done. Like, we can stand here talk morality all day. Like, what's the actual? This is the request we're making as a group. Is that like, you stop acting this way towards villages? Like, what would you request from us in return? If this is a negotiation.
Well, if you want to pay what they owe us, I mean, I believe you come from outside of this island chain. I'm sure you have something on you that would be worth it.
We have quite a lot on us. What would you be looking for specifically?
Anything that helps to further our goals. Weapons, magical equipment. We are very open-minded. He takes a look, or just trying to take a look over your shoulder, but settles for aside your shoulder. Looks in the direction of the rest of the party. We could even settle for someone.
Yeah, we're not going to give you one of our party members. That's not going to happen.
Oh, such a shame.
I'll go.
Toby will go. All right, excellent. Let's wrap this up. Toby, come on up here. Toby, I need you to come here real quick.
I've been wanting to try to get connected with these people since the beginning. I just haven't told anyone.
No,
but,
you're 16 feet away. You can't hear it.
I know I can't. That's what I'm saying over the table. Okay? It was a joke. It was a joke.
It's what he's thinking. He just leaned over to Jorg and said, "Maybe I should go. Smooth things
Maybe
over."
I should join them. Jorg? What do you guys miss me?
I would miss you.
Would anybody else miss me?
Fisher doesn't answer.
Fisher doesn't answer. Sashay's there. She might miss you.
Uh-huh.
Well, she looks at you. If you want to have Sashay's answer to this,
I
because
roll
you actually
a
said
insight
this.
check on Jorg's.
I think Jorg's honest. Jorg likes you.
Is this a
Yeah.
real? No.
Yeah, Jorg is on it. Oh, but does he really think
does he
Sashay
really
would
think any? Yeah, if anybody else in the group would miss me.
Well, Sashay turns to if you really ask this. Sashay turns
Ooh.
to you, and she just answers.
I rolled a 19 on deception, so you don't know. You think
if-
I'm telling the truth.
Yeah, I rolled a 15, so.
Well, if you want to leave the group, then of course we'll miss you. But if you want to leave the group and join them, I really didn't know that about you.
I mean,
Yeah,
it was
I'm
just
not
a
gonna lie to
thought.
that,
Maybe I
actually.
could help you guys in another way, but you know.
Like, I doubt these people have really done anything that has actually furthered a battle against the wizard. It seems like they're
That's
just
true.
fighting little petty fights that don't really get anywhere. And robbing people.
Yeah. I fully agree with what Jorg's saying.
Which is
I'm
what
just
audience
saying,
would be
I don't
saying
don't
if Jorg was
necessarily
there.
come out and just say that to their face.
All right, Jorg. I believe you, Jorg. I gotta go take a piss.
Oh. Yeah, you take it now, it's gonna freeze on its way out pretty soon.
this tree.
Walk smack into somebody.
So no, if I look the map, yeah, Tobiashi is right next to a tree right now. So yeah, of course, he just goes behind that tree and takes down his pants and starts peeing, and he notices someone's watching him. And,
Jorg's like, what the fuck? He still pulls his pants all the way down?
They probably are watching them.
All right, so he said what he felt was interesting. You know, you don't want to give up party members, but very open to weapons, magical objects.
That was a nice pee.
I don't even know what magical objects be. I mean, there's stuff I'd be willing to give up if I really just want to, like, but I also don't really, but it's just like, I actually don't think there's that much that we have.
Remy, you recognize the polite way of mugging someone in this situation.
Yeah, I'm like, also, I just don't really, like,
Alright, yeah, it's just like, Raimi is going to pipe up at this point. So, the songbird wants to be caged till the end of its days?
I'm gonna roll an intelligence to actually, I mean, I think I know what that means. Audience roll.
Yeah, you hear the wind blowing and a few snowflake in front of you. Audience seems to be the only one in the immediate vicinity who understand what you mean.
As long as I don't roll, 15, 14. I know what he's saying. Just to clarify, Remy, outside of game, are you basically saying, like, what they're asking for is never going to actually help, but we actually do have a way to help?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. That's what I thought. All right.
That's actually supposed to be a form of thieves' cant, but they might not actually recognize that one.
They, like I said, because of how removed it is, they would
yeah,
understand
no, I get that.
the broad concept of it, but not the details of it.
Mm-hmm.
So exactly what audience knew.
I'll say this. I'll be like, listen, I'm going to be honest. I think any petty pieces of magic equipment that we may have aren't really going to overall help. From what I'm not going to say what I've heard. What I know of the magician, he's far above any pieces of equipment that we might carry. However, our party is on, right now, the mission we're on actually has a very good chance of actually affecting the wizard and harming him in quite a drastic way. I think you hampering us in that is, in fact, actually hurting your goal of finally defeating the wizard and being free from him from this island.
We're not hampering you from doing anything. You're the one who volunteered to come here. You wanted to talk. We were really...
We did, because we simply just want you to stop bothering the village. It's a pretty simple request.
We absolutely agree with this. It is a very simple request. And if they would simply agree with our more than fair requests, then of course we are more than willing to let them live in peace.
I'm warning that we're starting to lean towards combat. Conversation.
Right. Well, like Rainy is going to elbow you and like give the go on motion.
Okay. Audience is
I don't think you really need to know. I don't think you need an intelligence check to know that you veered off from the argument.
Yeah, he wants me, I think, to explain our plan, or not maybe our full plan, but to like give more details on how we're actually going to defeat the wizard.
Yes,
Okay.
because you've basically given them nothing.
No. And I assumed they were going to ask. I'll be like, listen, if you want some further details, I'm not going to go into specifics in case you guys are ever captured or interrogated. But let's just say, you are correct. I'll give you this. You are correct. We are not from this island. And we may have a way to leave this island and set up a way to bring a large amount of forces back to this island if we are able to connect a device to the top of the spire, which is where we're headed now. I believe, from what I've seen, that no rebel faction on this island right now has the forces or equipment to defeat, let alone even challenge the wizard's authority. I think at this point you guys are mostly using your cause to be honest, basically allow yourselves to be brigands. But
Remy, you recognize that the audience is losing them slowly.
Elbows him again.
however, if you just allow our simple request to allow us to continue our mission, we will not only hurt the wizard with what we're exactly doing now, but also we will bring back a large amount of forces of powerful beings, far more even powerful than ourselves, that will not only be able to challenge, but defeat the wizard and free this island from his tyranny forever.
Yes, of course. Absolutely. Of course we're going to believe you. I mean, who wouldn't simply take someone's word for granted when they say, oh, we're going to bring forces so powerful that they are simply going to be able to stroll down the railway and get into the tower and solve all of our problems. Of course you can leave.
You need me to cast a Zone of Truth? Because I'll cast it and say it again.
No, I have a better idea. He points towards someone somewhere, and Remy, you just see someone materializing itself from where you couldn't see it. Very well hidden, about 25 feet straight in front of you. He might have been hidden behind the large rock that was there. You recognize someone that is wearing robes of someone who can practice magic.
What is that? A divination wizard or something?
No. Well, maybe from your point of view, we just are making sure that you really are going to think of us when all of this happens, and you really, really are going to help us. A simple spell. A gayest spell.
Yeah,
Sure,
I-
you're a
I'm
lawyer.
not
I
doing
know
that
that
shit.
I know that you meant something
I'm not
else,
doing
but just
that
the way that you pronounced it, just like yes, the gayest spell.
The gayest
Sorry.
spell. Remy suddenly gets excited that the gayest spell will be being cast on audience.
It's like dreams really do come true.
Sorry, French to English.
If you'd like, you can go with the more traditional pronunciation of geish. But
Okay, geish then.
There's not a fucking chance of having Geish be cast on me by these assholes.
What is geish?
It's an extremely constraining way of forcing someone into doing something, because there's a consequence. If you stop doing what they want, you receive a very nasty psychic damage as a punishment.
Yeah.
Woof.
It basically is a binding spell to basically a contract.
Yeah.
Which I'm not doing with some random ass brigands in the middle of nowhere.
No.
actually, might even is it on the druid spell list?
I don't know if it's on the druid spell list.
I'm double checking this exact moment. Okay, nah. But it would have been funny if it was.
No.
However,
I think it's Bard or Lock Wizard.
That should be consensual. I assume it does.
it doesn't
I
have
think
to.
Jorg doesn't know.
Well, Jorg
Oh.
doesn't know, but Jorg does know that a remove curse can break a gauge, but he doesn't understand that they were about to do this.
No, because I'm far.
You mean the spell I get at one level? Okay. No, actually, I don't know. It's one level.
It's like a 6th level spell.
Remove, yeah, no, remove is different than the one I was thinking of. I don't think I get remove curse. Anyway.
Remove curse is 3rd. Greater restoration is 5th.
No, so I do get it at one level. Yeah, I do get remove curse at one level. But that's meta. Audience doesn't know how that works.
Yeah, it's like all this meta knowledge doesn't come to audience in this exact moment.
No, it does not.
All that audience might know about this is that it's a very nasty curse that constrains you into acting into a certain way. It's possible to remove it, but you have never asked anyone in your party if they have the ability to remove it. That's about as far as audience would know about this.
If only I had Messenger Mrs. Shea and not Toby, I could ask her. I cannot ask her, though.
She's too far away for this.
Yeah.
I just finished taking a pee too.
Alright.
You see Tobiyashi going back to the party, shaking his leg.
Yeah, I wrote my name in the snow.
I'm gonna honestly look at the guy and be like, listen, I'm not gonna let you cast a geish on me. It's not gonna happen.
Aww. Then how can we trust you?
Again, I said I'd cast the Zone of Truth spell. It's just not have a binding thing to me so you'll know I'm telling the truth.
Oh, never mind. Geishas is on the druid spell list. Never mind.
Oh, is it? I didn't know that.
You can just grind rabbits until I level up, and then
I'll
I
look
can
over
cast-
to Jorg and Shashay. I'm like, does it feel like this is taking too long?
Sachet
I
looks
hope
at
not.
this and, well, they did look at us at once, but yeah, it really does feel like it's maybe not going the way that they want to.
Mm-mm.
You think we'd help if we went up there, or?
Tobiyashi, you don't need to
I
ask
don't know.
this because you can lip read. You only have to get so close
Oh
enough to be able to
yeah.
lip read the enemy.
How much closer do I have to get? Because I could get really close. I could get up to 45 feet from them, but
They did tell us to separate from my party, so I would just be aware if you start walking up suddenly, they might take that as a
I'll send
hostile
my
sign.
dog.
now what
look
if I
through my dog's
stealth?
eyes and then imitate their mouth motions with mine, and then you lip read me.
I see. I mean, I guess that'd work. Yeah, have your dog stealth up there, you know.
Yeah, I don't think that would work. If I could match their mouth motions, I'd just lip read them.
Can I see? Okay, can I see these people on the sides of the map?
No,
No.
because the places where the tree seems to be greener, those are evergreen type of tree. So it's fir, spruce, pine. So they completely block your line of sight.
All right. I'd like to cast invisibility. And
By the way, I want to let you guys know while we're talking, audience is again leaning a lot more down towards the combat line right now.
Can I barely? Okay, I want to see if anything happens if I walk forward 10 feet.
Alright, so Toby.
I'm behind both of the trees. I walked forward just 10 feet.
5. That's about.
Diagonally. Yeah.
So. You move this.
Careful, they are watching us.
I just kind of like look around afterwards.
You don't see a difference. However, Remy, you notice a difference in the reaction of those that you think audience can't see. Because right now, audience can only see the two orange one and the one that just appeared next to the rock. But you notice a response, readying response from the one that is at A6. And you hear sounds which would suggest there's at least 2 more that have picked up on something.
Can you update the map? Anyways.
It is updated.
Is it?
Yeah, I moved you 10 feet.
No, it takes a minute. Sorry, that's on my end. Can I see at least audience and Remy from here?
Yes, you can absolutely see them. They're about 50 feet away. And there's no tree in the direct line where you are. It's more of a path. I was intending the path to be 5 feet wide, but apparently it's 10 feet wide. So
can I see the people beyond them or no?
No, you can. Well, you can see to whom they are talking. So the two in orange, you can see them. The one at D 9 and 10, you can see them. And there's one at C 12 that you can sort of see, but everyone else you can't.
So they said we can't walk up, right?
No, audience said
like we
you
can't
didn't
go
want
over to
all
them?
of you to walk up.
But Toby would assume that the rest of them know that we're here. Is that correct? Or at least the 2 people that they were meeting with, or the people that he's meeting with at all.
Well, yes, you would assume that everyone knows you're here. You heard Remy send out bird calls. You heard bird calls in return. You assumed that there was a complete discussion in the very peculiar rogue way of talking. So there's probably more of them hiding everywhere. Because of things.
One second, my headset unplugged.
All right. Because of things that were said, you can suspect that there
Hello,
are.
please plug back in. This is not the time. Okay.
Right. So because of things that were said, you are aware that there are at least 4 more.
Yeah. So if I know they know that we're probably already here, might as well just. How's it going over there?
As you are all staring
yell out
at one
into the
another,
open.
with audience saying that he doesn't want to have a very constraining spell on him, you hear Tobiyashi just yell from back over there. So, how's it going over there?
At the moment, we're at an impasse.
Aw, that's a mean way of saying this. We did give you option, you're just not willing to take it.
Your option was to
So
put a very
options.
constricting spell on me. It would be the same thing as me saying, giving you the option of you're either going to leave that village alone or I'm just going to like kill all of you in the next, 30 to 45 seconds. Say, looking at my wrist.
There's no watch on it at all. He's just like,
Looking at your wrist.
Takes a moment and
They don't know that.
try and looks at the sun and damn, not even the sun.
It would be kind of like that,
I'll just yell back, what can we do to solve it?
I don't know. Kind of depends on them.
Why don't
It'd be
you all
cooler if you
bring
yelled
your
"Sick 'em."
friends here in the middle of this cozy clearing so we can all discuss this with your entire group involved? Remy, you don't need to make a roll to know that they're basically
Yeah, it sounds like
Yeah.
They're inviting all of the group deeper in the trap, so
Yeah, that's what I was like. Toby, I think it would be probably best if you stayed over there.
All right. I mean, I'm not. Okay.
I feel like
No.
you'd be safer.
All right. I'll walk 2 feet back from where I came. I mean, 10 feet back from where I came from and stand by everyone else again. Well, it looks like it's not getting any better.
That's it.
So.
Actually, wait. Toby
Yeah.
can message. Well, no, that's fine. I'm gonna leave Toby over there.
Funny enough, like, I don't know, maybe he can salvage this a little bit. So, Raimi is actually very specific, just making sure that the flow of conversation, like, regarding this particular thing is, like, maintained. He repeats the last thing regarding specifically the Geish, but then immediately switches to a different voice. 'Tis only a flesh wound.
I'm gonna roll intelligence on that one too. I am struggling to understand that one.
If Draken needs me to explain it,
I was about to say something, but yeah, sure. I'm also intrigued to know if I'm actually right.
it's like basically Raimi is suggesting that even if you did this, it would not have the impact they were looking for anyway. So there's no point in doing it.
Just as a power move to take it and then just immediately break the promise and start fighting them or something.
Well, what if they put it on Toby? Then nobody has to worry.
No, it's a principle of the thing. I'm not letting them put a geish on a member of the party.
Yeah.
Well, then,
They're not worth my time that much. They're actually beginning to become very not worth my time.
Well, then how can we make sure that you're actually going to hold up your word? And not just you, but every single party member that has accompanied you. Because what good is it to test the word?
How are we going to know that you're going to upkeep your word as well?
Oh,
It's the same thing.
That's very
There's a matter
easy.
of trust between parties.
Oh, that's very easy. We outnumber you. You don't have much of a choice.
I mean, what? You're like 20 members. You think they scare me? I'll pull out the emblem of the two swords. We fought another group that had, I think it was like 30 or 40 members. We killed all of them. Trust me. Numbers are not what I'm afraid of. It should be the skill of the members that you should be far more worried about. I'm gonna roll an intimidation check with that one.
Yeah, sure.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Oh, it was so good. It was on a 19 and rolled away at the last second. Oh,
I can't hear, bro.
so sad. All right, that's not good.
All right.
Oh my god.
So what did you actually roll?
Not now.
Oh, a 5.
5, okay.
Oh.
All right. How do I add this into this? All right. It was a good attempt. You actually did mention things. And Remy, since you have such good insight, you saw that audience was starting to hit something that might have given result, but unfortunately he opened his mouth and said one thing too many when he said, "We fought them." This is the moment where you see them stop being worried about what he was saying and just go, "Ah, such a shame. We actually heard about this. Too bad. But this is telling us who you are. And that we actually do need to keep a good eye on you." Remy, you have this
Hey,
moment.
sorry to interrupt again.
Remy,
I feel like interrupting. We're maybe moving out of the interrupt.
Remy, you have this moment of,
Might have to roll initiative.
oh
to
man, this is Thief Can't. This is basic Thief Can't.
I don't even think audience is like it's Thief Can. I think audience
No,
felt
but
a change of tone.
Remy sort of deduce, fuck, we might have lost our cuddle advantage. Because he has just said to someone that one of you needs to be watched.
Oh, but do they know which one?
That's what Remy doesn't know.
So anyways,
So anyways,
I started
where are we
to
going
ask.
from here?
Well, you had two emergency plan, and you think one of them might have been compromised. There's still the other one.
Well,
Does,
I don't know if they know that Sashay can cause darkness.
Well, she can create a fog cloud. She just has told you that it's risky.
Which would still cut light, which they don't necessarily know about.
Well, the fog cloud would cover everything. And even though, unless they have a way to see through magical fog, Cuddles would once again be free to act in this cloud. But so long as the cloud hasn't been put up, that plan could have been compromised.
Yes.
But unfortunately,
recognize
only
that.
Remy's knows.
Can I tell how far away the blizzard is?
You've been talking for about 30 minutes now, so it's about 30 to 45 minutes away. You can feel the temperature slowly dropping.
Really, because
George,
audience can
this
feel his
doesn't-
temperature rising.
so Jorg, this doesn't seem like it's going well.
Mm-mm. Should just unleash the blob in a jar. They said don't let it out.
I mean,
what does that mean?
I don't
unleashed
want
the
anything to happen
blob.
to us. But do you think I should ask if I could come up?
I mean, at this point, maybe it can't hurt.
Hold on.
Yes?
Like,
Yeah, this is just us talking
wait,
over.
Except
Well, that's
it is a
happening.
trap
Would you-
up ahead, so
Oh, come now. Would you attack the cub when the mother is nearby?
I'm not afraid of a trap. Like, what are
Okay.
they gonna do? Torture me?
You can,
No, I think I know what
No,
you mean.
like Draken
They're
can
gonna
ask
put like
for any
8
clarity
arrows
there
in your
since...
spindly little body.
I'll be fine. I'll catch at least one of them.
I think I understand the reference to Sachet and Cuddles.
Oh, no. No.
No? Okay. So who is
It's like
who is the cub?
the reference...
Bluffing.
Like, the reference here is like, it's like being under the protection of somebody much more powerful than even them.
Okay.
I'm about to pull out. I'm about to use my next intimidate plan, which is I'm about to be like the Blue Inquisitors on our side too, and hope that they've heard of him just like Sachet has.
oh, that's a good idea.
Say that right now.
Yeah, like
Wait,
at this point.
Do it.
Do it.
But
Literally right now.
Are they gonna believe
Uh-huh.
you?
Before Toby yells again.
They could roll. They could roll insight on me.
Yeah, absolutely. No, if
Mm-hmm.
Oh, and I'll be like, oh, and I forgot to mention the other member of our party that you haven't noticed, who's been tracking you this whole time. Our friend, the Blue Inquisitor.
okay, now make your deception roll.
Fair enough. You're not wrong.
Does he at least get any
I rolled a
advantage on that since Raimi brought up the thing first? Kind of.
I'd like to use my one inspiration die. that I
Technically, if
haven't
they've
used.
heard about that thing, they
Mhm.
might have heard that the Blue Inquisitor is with our party, because they did hear about the combat before. We did.
Can Tor cast guidance even though he can't hear you?
It's
a touch-
It's a
it's a
touch
range of touch.
spell.
My
touch
dog
spell.
can cast touch spells.
Your dog is not with me.
Yeah, sure. I just rolled to see if they would know about this. So yeah, sure. Roll with it. You can
Roll
roll with
advantage.
That's a 20 on the roll. On the deception roll.
All right. All right.
I'm going off this guy's legacy being as scary as it was.
How is he gonna react to this? Well, first off, you notice the silence that follows what you just said. So at least one of the two knows about what you're referencing and knows the possible ramification of this.
Ooh, because they think he worked for the wizard.
No, they also know he went rogue like a lot. And they might know he went rogue a lot of years ago.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's also more they know what he's capable of.
Yeah.
One of them just taps the one to the right at D10 taps the arm of the one at D9, and he exchanges a few words, very very low in volume. This would be a moment where Tobiashi would have been able to pick up what's been said, but Remy, if you want, you could try a perception roll, but I will warn you right now that it's going to be a very high success DC.
Go
So
for it, Remy.
you're saying that I have a chance to talk?
I get that I'm rolling against other rogues. I understand.
It's discreet and thief cants, so.
All right.
Audience is not even gonna try. See if
So wait, you said I could make the perception check?
If
or-
you,
No,
if
you're
you
not
were
there.
if you were there, I would even allow you to see this without having to make perception roll because you can actually lip read, but you're too far away.
Damn it. I
Just
knew I
saying,
should have talked
The
to
best I can manage is a 25, but
Okay.
expertise is a bitch.
All right. Best you can understand with this, and a few words that are exchanged, and you notice that the hand touching the other one twitches on certain word. So it's a higher level of thief can't. He's putting accents on some words which are already being said in a way that is harder to decipher. So there is an exchange of information, and the one that's giving the information is the one that looks the most nervous about what has just been said. So he might be informing the other one of what this implies. He might be warning him to be careful. You're not sure exactly, but it's
All right, I think it's about time.
it's information that This has just changed the table.
Hey, audience.
Yeah.
Do you need my help? Can I walk up safely?
I don't. Sure, Toby, you can walk up. I don't think at this point adding Toby to the trap. And he can at
All
least message with Sachet if he walks up. And
I'm going to
I also
walk
don't
up.
want him to keep calling across the clearing.
Hey, audience, it's me, the Blue Inquisitor.
It's me. I'm the
How about we
Inquisitor.
don't do that? How about
No,
we
I'm
don't
gonna.
do that?
So I could walk up. So I walked
cast a
to-
very convincing greater image.
I walked to J11. If I could get any further without anything happening, then I would. But I could go 45 feet.
I mean, they invited us up. I don't think they're gonna care. They said for our whole party.
So then I'll just walk next to audience at H10. If it's not like, turns to move.
All right. So you make your way up, and
I have my hands up the whole time as I'm walking up. Just kind of like expecting something to happen.
one thing you do notice, Remy, especially you, is something's happening behind you, and it seems to be increasing the tension and the readiness level of whomever is watching you. Those you can perceive, those you can see, they're all putting weapons in hands, ranged weapons in hands. Some of them you can notice are arcane crossbows, and some are regular bows. So suddenly there is an increased level of tension. And one of them, the one that has been speaking up to this point, just turns around, looks in every direction, and you recognize a form of hand speech. A thief can't solely on hands. Which, if baseball existed, you might make fun of. But but it's making this blatantly obvious that they're exchanging information, even for audience, and possibly for whoever's walking up the path and creating a whole lot of tension. The kind of tension which
I could feel it in the air. Yeah.
the kind of tension which you can probably start feeling like if someone shoots, it's just gonna explode.
Yeah.
Audience, you know what?
So
Audience is
Serenius-
gonna ready an action to pop my.
Wait.
What? No, I can
No,
ready an
wait.
action.
No, wait. You
I can
had
ready
Ready in
action.
action?
Yeah, that's allowed. You're allowed to ready actions without doing anything.
But you have to grab to something to ready in action.
Depends on what you
Well,
want
no,
to
I'm
ready.
talking about Toby. Like, whatever you're planning on doing, you had your chance.
No,
I haven't even walked up yet. I haven't even finished walking
Audience
up.
is gonna ready an action to drink the potion of gaseous form.
Gaseous form? Okay.
Gaseous.
Gaseous. I know. I was gonna say geisha.
Gaseous.
Gaseous.
So,
Rainey is very. In response to this growing tension, Rainey would at least like to say, granted, it's kind of in a woman's voice, but it matches the previous metaphor. So you can either make allies with nature or enemies.
Yeah, I'm still waiting for these guys to just respond.
I walk up on H10. I'll have my hands up. I guess I could see the two people at M, the two orange people, right?
I'm gonna turn to Toby to walk and be like, Toby, don't be so afraid. We have the advantage here. Stop acting like a bitch. I don't say that out loud.
Well, no, I still have my hands up even after he says that. I'm going to slowly, since I could feel the tension. You said I could feel it. I'm going to slowly drop the weapon that I had. My morning star or whatever it is, the morning whip.
Meteor
Drop it
hammer.
on the ground. Yeah, the meteor hammer. I drop it on the ground.
Jesus Christ.
Basically the same thing. I drop it on the ground. I'm like, sorry if I'm interrupting anything. What are we coming to terms with at this moment? I'm asking the other people at the right now.
I don't know, audience. I feel like I've seen this look on other players before. This look of exasperation, of of growing headache.
Wait.
All right, so
Okay.
as Tobiyashi is approaching, as there is an increased tension, and Remy can simply see everyone being ready, and fortunately, no one failed on that. How can I call it? Cool, keeping your cool roll. No one is fired as Tobiyashi is making its way, but it was so close.
I'm worried Toby's failing on the keeping it cool.
No. I'm definitely keeping it cool. I look unnaturally still.
As
As
you
I
drop
drop my
your
weapon.
weapons on the
As
ground,
I drop
you're
my
keeping
weapon,
it
yeah.
real cool, like.
Yes.
Do you drop it in like the cool meteor hammer way, where you're like still holding the chain? It's just now a readied weapon, or do you drop it like the whole chain's on the ground?
I drop my weapon on the ground.
Well, he drops a ball because he wraps his silk
Yeah, I
around
dropped
the
the
ball.
So
Oh.
I drop it on the ground. It's still 10 feet, so I'll be fine. Anyways, I drop the weapon on the ground to make it look like it's fallen. I look at everyone and I ask that question. I'm like, so what exactly is going on?
We're waiting for them to decide.
All right, so then this probably runs around the same when Raimi said the line about like making either allies or enemies with nature.
All right, go ahead.
Just making sure that didn't get drowned out.
Druid.
So you, after this moment of tension, this conversation that they're having, the one who's been talking so far just looks at you, audience, and from Remy's point of view, and possibly Tobiyashi now, because he has also a very good perception, it's obvious for you that he is extremely nervous, but is doing a decent job at hiding it. Decent enough that your confident audience isn't picking it up.
Audience can roll an insight on that.
Go ahead.
Who has the acorn also?
Audience rolled a
Remy
13,
always has the.
Remy.
Okay.
which I think is slightly better than my passive insight.
Sorry, I didn't hear what you rolled.
13.
13. All right. You can barely make out a hint of nervousness in the person that is talking. He might, from your point of view, he is concerned about something. From Remy's point of view, he is doing everything he can to show that he is not sure he can maintain this position, because if what audience said is true, he knows they are at disadvantage. But he's not convinced of audience's truthfulness.
Speaking of that, audience is going to roll a performance roll to see if he seems super confident, like that this is like no fear at all at going into combat with them.
Okay.
His basically same thing that guy's doing, but that's a 12.
Suddenly his cloak becomes a set of like a Batman cape and hat. It's like da-da-da-da-da.
It's a 12 from audience.
All right. So basically, you're
Um,
doing the same thing as Stitch in Lilo and Stitch. You put on a bra on your head and it gives you ears, and then you take the the cape and start
I'm just
jumping
standing.
everywhere.
I'm just standing confidently. I mean, it's not a complete performance because audience is confident that he can take on this group, but he's not 100% confident like if Sif was actually there.
So you see, there's a difference between being confident and sexy confident.
Yeah.
I think sexy confident is a lot better, but anyways.
Oh, that's an interesting proposition that you're making.
Can't beat them, turn them off.
Adding this very interesting chip to the bargaining table. That you're willing to commit this friend. While he's saying this, Remy, you notice the a stalling tactic because you start hearing these very faint bird calls, which you would recognize in thief cants as various member checking in that they do not see Civ. It's answer from there, answer from there, answer from there, answer from there. They're slowly, each one of them, confirming that they do not see this. And you know that there's a point where he'll be confident that Civ is not there in this.
Will he?
There will
His
be a
audience
point.
would assume he was going to check anyway. He doesn't even need the thieves' cap.
Yeah, but Remy is the only one who has the timer. How
fair
much
enough.
time there is.
Hey, hold on. I can confuse this.
Okay.
It's like, so out to about 30 feet away, specifically behind the man negotiating, he's going to imitate the bird call of one that has spotted something.
Wait, how is that helping?
Okay.
Because it's causing confusion for
I
them. They're not
I
sure.
would have you roll intelligence because you're not sure which one it is. You're not that familiar with their way of doing this.
Fair enough.
I guess, well, Toby wouldn't notice this, right? Since
No.
thieves can't?
Well, all
Toby
you're
would not
hearing
notice
are
this.
birds. It's a bit odd.
Toby has no idea of what plan audience and Remy are trying to cook right now.
It's a bit
All right,
odd.
that's good.
For Tobias,
Shit,
she's
20.
You were what? I didn't hear.
Sorry, I rolled the natural 20 with a 23 total. Fuck me.
All
That
right,
was-
you're hesitating. You're not sure, but you know they're using this bird. The heck, let's go. Let's try this bird, and you make a bird call. You make the bird call, and suddenly there is a deafening silence, with just the wind and the snow starting to fall a bit more. And then you start hearing disorder, dissonance within the different calls, as if someone was asking who said that, and another confirmation, and no confirmation is coming. Then someone says that he sees something because that call repeats somewhere else, but in a very different place, which doesn't make sense. So there is discord that is being sown into this.
Nice job, Remy.
So, I guess that's when Toby would start talking.
Is it when Toby's going to start talking?
Yes, it is. It is.
Good.
I kind of look back and forth on what's happening, trying to read the room, and I'm like, okay, so I don't know exactly what's happening, what you guys have talked about, anything like that, but I do want to be completely honest.
Oh yes, please do.
If you guys, from what I've heard from our travels around here, if you guys are trying to take down the wizard, so are we. So I don't see why there would be any problem no matter which way we're trying to do it. Like, yes, the whole village thing is a mess, but in the greater scheme of things, I'm not even supposed to be here. We shouldn't have even been at that village.
What are you going on about?
I don't know where Toby's going with this. I'm
Wait,
on the
wait,
man
wait.
cook.
We shouldn't have even been at that village. I didn't want to help that man at all.
Why are you undermining?
If anything, we're kind of trying to do the same thing, but some people, I kind of look around a little bit. Some people decided to help other people, and I don't blame them for it because it's what we've been doing. But yeah, you kind of notice this as me trying to stall for time.
Why are we stalling for time? What are we
We're
stalling for?
We're stalling because there's a reason to
go
stall.
And just cook. You cook.
There's kind of a mutual thing that we're trying to do here. And if we could kind of, agree to disagree at the moment and end up needing each other's help in the future, maybe we could help each other. I'm not trying to fight anybody at all right now. I don't want any more death or chaos to happen. If that's a mutual thing, we could agree on something. I don't know what they said no to, but, I'm here to kind of try to help.
Remy, with this cacophony of bird calls everywhere, a few other rogues betray their position in this, and you sort of are able to make out even more people around you just because of the repeated sound coming from this position and this position and this position, and this one is changing and this one is changing, this one is not changing, and then even though it's very disorganized, it does allow you to pinpoint even more of their group. So still, for everyone else, you only see those at D9, 10, and C12. But for Remy, there are another 6 more that you are able to pinpoint all around. For you, Tobiyashi, as you're watching this, you get the feeling that the person that was talking is getting very annoyed, and your natural deduction is he's being very annoyed at everything you're saying. Feels like he's only half paying attention to what you're saying. Feel like probably audience covered this subject already, and you're just annoying him more. Remy, because of your very...
Well, I didn't know.
Remy, because of your
That's why you don't enter stuff in the middle.
Because of your very unique perspective on everything that's happening, you understand that he's not being annoyed at Tobiyashi. He's probably not even listening to what Tobiyashi is saying. Tobiyashi is talking to the trees right now. He is extremely annoyed at the fact that there is discord everywhere and he can't get a real answer to is Civ in the area. Is there really
just
such a prominent and horrendous threat lurking about?
Toby's just like, why is there so many birds out in winter?
Jorg, you know that there's no way that there's supposed to be this many birds. Something's happening.
Alright, audience is going to try and take advantage of this because he can tell that they're not sure, and he feels like the longer that he gives them,
just total
the
confusion
more
at
sure
this point.
the more sure that they're gonna be. So he's gonna be like, he doesn't know exactly what's being said, but he knows that after he asked that question, there's definitely been a lot of confusion and they seem unsure.
Exactly.
So he's gonna try and take advantage and be like, so do we have a deal or do I have to call my friend and ask him to take steps. It's up to you.
I look
And
over,
Raimi,
I'm
will
like, I
minor
already took
illusion the
steps.
very symbol of the rebel group that was taken out to like really hammer home what happened.
Oh, jeez. All right. Yeah, Remy going with the illusion that is a very staple of pulling someone's chain with a illusionary coin just being flipped through his fingers with the symbol of the guild that was completely eradicated. Ding, 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 ding. Okay, so for their answer, he looks around. He's trying to make sense of the information that is happening. You see him look up. That he's getting, and he looks up, he looks around, he looks at your party. You notice that for a moment he even looks with intention towards Sachet. As he looks at you, audience, and says, "Fine. Maybe you're right. This wasn't such a profitable endeavor. Maybe it is better to simply let the past in the past and wait for a better harvest."
I'm so glad you could see it that way.
So, in reference, I rolled 3 rolls to see their reaction. And I am not kidding. If only I could just bend the camera down and you could see. The first dice is a natural 1. The second dice
Ouch.
is a natural 1. And the third dice is a natural 1. So,
Oh my god.
So what's the
That's a 1
total
in 8,000
confusion?
chance for those who can't do math.
oh, that's why I said, oh, jeez, when I rolled.
What the hell?
If you can't remember me seeing this, just watch the VOD. You'll see I did say, oh, jeez. So, slowly, he gives hand signal and starts to walk away and back
Alright.
off. And Remy, you have confirmation that one after the other, as apparently either the leader or the representative of this group is moving away, the others are also moving away.
I'm just gonna lean over to Toby and be like, Toby, pick up your mace. Let's go.
I just bring it back with my silk because it wasn't disconnected from me. I bring it back. I'm like, so it worked, I'm guessing? I was going for the total confusion route. I don't know what you guys talked about, but
Toby,
what
you did it.
What we said worked. When you said, luckily I don't think they were paying attention to you.
Well, you probably,
That's fine.
Tobiyashi, you probably have the Ghostbuster moment of where where they see the dome just collapsing and they all think that it's the guy on the outside. That, yay! And you have this moment, did I do this? And then you see audience and Remy looking in your direction. Oh no, I didn't do this.
Alright, I would have motioned to the rest of the party, kind of beckon them up, like, let's go. Let's get out of this area. I don't want to be here any longer.
I rolled a nat 1 on Insight. Jordan genuinely would have thought Toby did it.
so, wait, as we're walking back, I'm like, so they don't want to help us? We don't want to help them?
I
There's
think we're
nothing they could do
taking the
for
fact
us?
that they're going to leave the village alone. They're not a group that I would want to tie myself to.
Well, that's not what he said. He just said he's going to leave the past in the past.
They're a group
Never
of
said-
brigands, Toby. They're not rebels. Stop thinking of them as rebels. They're basically a group.
Well,
they're
if
basically a group.
anything, they're not going to leave the place alone
Oh,
in
I
the
think
future.
they'll leave the
but
place alone.
Well, from what they said, you could deduce, because of the wording they used, they're going to leave it alone for a year. They'll wait for the next harvest. So essentially, Alright, we lost what we wanted to have this time. And we'll see about next one. But for now...
Remy's just going to Remy's going to whisper in Tobayashi's ear, "Let's just cut our losses and run, mate."
But I feel like they could be of use. Anyways, all right, okay.
Better than winding off dead. And Remy actually has a very pointed face at that, and just starts walking along, presumably with audience.
Probably.
Just standing in between them and Remy and audience walking away. I look back at him for a second, and I'll just follow audience and Remy.
All right.
Gelvin is there with you. Well, that didn't go as expected.
No, we pulled
Wait,
out.
why are you still here?
Because he lives in the village where you are going.
Yeah.
But I thought he was... Okay, we kill him now.
Oh, no, he's...
We kill him.
No.
I thought he was the informant. Is this not the informant guy?
Oh, yes, he is.
He is
but
the
he also lives in
informant.
the
He
village.
still lives there.
Oh my god.
I'm just gonna pat him on the back and be like, "No, it didn't." Also, I'm sure you're aware if you cause any more trouble and I hear about it, we might have another less pleasant return visit with you. I mean, we do know where you live.
Last time someone told me this, I was at work and I answered, "Yes, and I know where you work."
Unfortunately, he doesn't know.
No, that's. I wanted to answer this, but you can't.
Just raises his finger because it's a very practiced response.
Yeah, I don't know where the fuck you guys.
Yeah. I know.
All right, have fun walking back to the village.
Watch out for the blizzard.
Yeah, and the zombies.
Yeah,
Watch out
don't
for the
worry.
zombies.
I'm not leaving you out
You
of my
won't be
sight until
missed.
I get back to town. To
Oh,
the station.
we weren't going.
We're
back
not going
to town.
back to town.
Mm-hmm.
So you can either come with us or you can head back up by yourself. It's up to
I
you.
mean, if you want to.
Well, you're going back to the road.
Just to make a point, we're not going back to the
Yeah, just to make a point, we don't go back to the
We
road.
don't. We just walk off into the... we just
So
walk
just
off.
start wandering into
We just
the
start
wilderness.
walking in the way the road takes, but we don't go back to the road.
Oh, man. We're better off without all of you adventurers. He just goes back to the to the station.
We never saw him again. No.
Well, most likely not, because I don't think you're ever going to be coming back to this
Nope.
station.
Nope. Alright.
Well, maybe. You know, Remy did leave it. You did all... Well, Remy left the biggest gift, but several of you left a gift for your host of the previous evening, so...
Did every single person but me leave a gift, by the way? I just have to
Almost.
ask.
Almost.
Audience, the man of the people, doesn't leave jack shit.
You're not the only one.
What, me and Toby?
I'm not gonna answer that.
Anyway.
Let's just say that they're going to be able to renovate their home thoroughly and give each one of their kid a new room.
Alright. And we're on our way.
All right.
We got out of that without combat.
Yes, I am surprised.
Well played.
And
'Cause I
Excuse
pulled
me
it-
while I go take a smoke break, and I'm not a smoker.
We pulled out a trump card we didn't even have. But they only...
you're lucky because I rolled a natural 20 on one of the two dice to see if one of the two person that were in front of you knew about him. So he did know, and he knew the legend with a natural 20. So this is why he started telling him. And when the time came to make a decision, well, all ones guarantees that they don't feel confident in their position. So good rolls, also good decisions. I'm not gonna just put it on the rolls. There were a few good ideas. Some of them worked, some of them didn't work. And you didn't use a fog outside because damn, that could have went really bad.
No.
Well, I mean, if they just used the shield sword combo, none of us could see. Uncuddles would have been there.
What's the shield sword combo?
The shield sword combo.
Oh, where Fisher makes a light fog in the fog, and then I charm everybody? What do you
Yeah.
mean? Oh,
Yeah, and then Sachet cast fog, and we're fine.
what if she's charmed?
It better not look.
It's not that they look, it points as a cast charm on the whole area.
I don't
Everyone
think
has
she'd be
to
charmed
say
by you.
Don't
I don't
flatter
think she'd be
yourself
charmed
with-
by you.
Charming, yeah.
the whole point is you guys aren't resistant to it. That's why it's not a good combo.
She gets an advantage from charm against audience. That's what she has.
Does she? That part of her character kit?
Yeah, that's part of her
Well, I don't know,
character kit.
but one thing actually does come out of this that the audience probably will feel good about is as you're all starting to walk again on the road, preparing for another 2 days of walk because it's 32 miles to the point where you're going.
We have that shelter.
She does come up to you and says, "Well, I am impressed. It really felt like this was going in a very different direction, and to be honest, I was worried about the path you were taking. But in the end, you actually chose a good one, a good path, and I'm sorry I doubted you.
Toby had it under control.
But I still think you could have used a different path to convincing Galvin to talk to us. I could have made it easier. Not have to use such methods."
Sometimes people just deserve such methods.
I don't completely agree with Jorg on that one, but I will say I understand. I understand where you're coming from, Sachet, and I will be sure to utilize your abilities in the future. However, you have to weigh the roughing up of one less than pleasant individual versus the safety of an entire town. And I hope that you were able to see that while you don't always understand the means behind something I do, I always have a plan for good in the future.
Well, yes.
Toby kind of grits his teeth side to side. Audibly.
She looks at you for a moment and well, destination isn't always the only thing that matters. How you get there is also important. One thing, you have the insight of a rock, but even with that, her answer is not her answer, but the emotions that she seems to be feeling right now don't fit. You get the feeling that this is connecting to something she has lived and maybe you've caused her sorrow right now. But she just stands on this and starts walking.
I'm so hungry. Anybody want some cheese?
Stork would love some cheese.
I'll
We should
break
take
'em
a
off
long
piece
rest
of-
pretty soon too. I'm still pretty tired.
We should take an actual break soon because it's 12:20.
Yes, well, with this,
We get into our next thing.
yeah, and I'd feel better if all of our active players tonight are there. So a break so that Remy can come back after the break that he's taken.
I break off a piece of cheese for Jorg out of the wheel that I have.
The
Audience thinks about how he is gonna break down Sachet's barriers.
Oh my god. Yeah, you just hear me gritting my teeth, kind of like, like...
All right. On that,
Something wrong over there, Toby?
on that
Nah,
interesting
just something
note,
you said.
we will go to our break, and well, everyone likes ducks or toad or so apparently.
Ducks.
Marsh sounds, even though we are in the beginning of winter in this game. So,
Yeah, speak up if you don't want ducks.
well, Valen V likes the ducks. I'm not sure, but I think last episode, Torch Ablaze liked the frogs, so everyone gets something that they like. So, see you back in 15 minutes. Bye.
Bye.
Hello, we're back. I know that Remy seems to be absent right now. He promises he will be there as soon as he can. He is stuck. You know, he did say that he was going to take a break, so he did warn us.
In a
that
dryer.
yeah, no, the door got locked and he has to find a way to break in and, usual stuff. Rogue stuff. All right. So, let's see. All right. So hopefully Remy will get off of his stupor of the moment and rejoin the group. Because right now we only have Jorto, Viashi audience, and Sishek to talk to. Alright. So, you get back on the road, and... well, you have your moment to take your long rest, because half an hour after you started to walk, you are forced to leave the road because you're in the middle of a blizzard.
Nah, we gotta just trek.
You get in that little hut. No.
God damn it. We can take a long rest. we can take our rest.
So
Yeah.
Wait out the blizzard.
yeah, and
Audience knows that blizzards in this area of the world can be dangerous.
yeah,
So
you can die in a blizzard. Alright, so after a few moments, maybe half an hour of walk, you start feeling that blizzard, you start seeing your visibility being reduced even further as the mix between the mist all around and the snowfall is nearly making you blind. You probably have less than 60 or 70 feet of visibility when you eventually decide that okay, maybe nature is giving us a small hint that we need to rest a little bit before continuing.
Yeah.
Although it would make the next day one that is slightly shorter, especially if you take 8-hour rest. But better walking half a day than no day at all.
yeah, we also know how long the blizzard's gonna last. So kind of stuck.
Yeah.
I can determine that if I can find my D4s. D4s.
I assume it's like we'd be blind out there if we tried to keep going.
Yes.
You could easily get lost.
Yeah, we could get separated. We could get, like, the blizzards are very...
Just
strong.
tie her up around each other and we go where we go.
The just so that you know, all right. So you're not in the middle of winter, but this is the beginning and where you are in the world, which is essentially right now nearly the beginning of December. A blizzard in that moment of the year. Temperature with the wind factor can fall all the way to. Hold on, let me find my table of conversion. You can easily go down to minus 22 Fahrenheit in the middle of a blizzard.
Wind chills 40 degrees below absolute zero.
What?
That's what we had up here, like, a few
That's
weeks ago.
cool.
It was not cool. It was
It's a
painful.
pun.
Ah, yes.
Oh no, we had something very interesting maybe a month ago, and the temperature actually dropped to. Hold on.
You know, where I'm living right now, it's been trying to start spring and then the next day it hails. So
That's what we're doing right now. It'll jump between like 40 and 22 degrees.
So
We're getting like
yeah,
50s and lots of sun right now.
so,
It's nice.
maybe a month ago we had a good chill during one night, and temperature with the wind factor dropped all the way to something around minus 30, 35 Fahrenheit.
We got down to minus 40. But I think it was about that time.
Yikes.
Even got to try an experiment. If the temperature drops below something like minus 18 Fahrenheit, if you boil water and you just throw it outside, it's going to turn into a vapor instantaneously. You just end up with a vapor cloud. Got to try that. It was cool.
All right. So we're setting up our bubble,
Yep.
and then we're taking a long rest. All right.
10 minutes to set it up.
Oh,
Sorry.
So
blizzard. I'll make a snowman.
I want to test my breath and see if anything new happens. Because
okay. So while Remy is concentrating to put up this little dome, and you see Sachet walking about and doing her best to create another layer of protection while you hunker down for this blizzard. Audience just gloriously sitting there watching everyone.
Toby, can you go stand over there real quick? I'm kidding.
Toby was just about to talk to audience while he's doing this, so
Here, take this apple and go stand over there.
Toby, I need you to go stand over there about 30 feet away in a line.
I don't think I trust you anymore.
Look.
All right. So you take him on. Oh, it's a good thing we're trying this outside of combat. So you take a moment, find that little bubble of energy that you felt earlier. Take in a deep breath, and you start exhaling the energy of your breath weapon. And there comes this moment where you feel that you're just about to run out of breath, and then you feel that little bubble of energy, that little extra flare that might just be there. And so do you reach out and try to grab it?
Yeah, might as well. We're not in combat.
All
Let's see
right.
what happens.
So you have this moment of closing your eyes as the tension of releasing that breath, all the way to the point where you feel like you're just gonna suffocate. But right before you end, reaching down, and you have this flash of a moment where you see that little dragon inside of you. All right, we're doing this! And he takes what looks like 2 daggers with wires touching the hilt of the pummel of the dagger, and he just shoves it inside of what looks like a huge root, going deep inside, which you feel when he shoved both dagger in, as if something had been shoved right into your heart.
Okay.
Make a Constitution saving throw, please.
Jesus Christ. Why am I being stabbed in the heart? That's a 5.
Oh, goodness. All right,
Oh.
so you have this
Start
moment,
like-
and just as you're about to completely suffocate, you feel that burst of energy, and it just keeps going. Your breath keeps on going, and you're not used to seeing this kind of damage. You were aiming for just this small rock in the road, and normally it would have been just a very bad scorch on the rock, but the energy just keeps pouring and pouring and pouring, and the rock starts falling into pieces, being damaged way beyond anything you've done so far.
Audience is also screaming at this point. He's just got stabbed in the heart.
But as you feel all of this energy going and keep on pouring out, you feel your heart, this tension in your heart, this squeeze that starts hurting in your limbs, in your body. Simply put, you're having a stroke.
Yeah, that's why I was like, see, I just starts like flailing, his breath weapon just going everywhere.
Oh god.
When that
Is he okay?
breath ends and the last bits of the breath, even the color of the breath changes to something that's a little bit reddish in color. As the breath leaves and you have just enough time to go this... And you fall to your knees. Everything around you just blurs out, and you see your vision, field of vision just going dimmer and dimmer and dimmer. And you hear at the same time, yes.
Oh, well, I was kind of watching him the whole time
Okay.
because I wanted to talk to him, and then he started doing this. So if I see him fall to the ground, I'd like to rush over there.
Yes, of course.
Be
You
careful,
rush to
Toby, I am
his
just
side, but
spewing lightning.
I will too.
for
but
you,
you're
audience,
hurting.
while you were screaming to get out all of that energy, it felt like you weren't just screaming for yourself, you were also screaming for the little dragon inside of you, who is just also screaming in your mind with energy being pumped through the cables,
Take it
Then you-
out, take it out.
through the cable and going through his body. It felt like he was also getting electrocuted. But when the breath ends, he just lets go, and you hear him start laughing in your mind. A Eureka laugh, you know? It worked! And then you hear him go, "Oh shit! Fire! Fire! Fire!" And you get slammed back here as you feel like you're going through a heart attack.
As I rush up to him, I'm like, "Audience, you okay?"
Audience is passed out.
I'll use one of my healing slots on him just in case.
Well, probably
This is before the
you're-
rest.
Probably, audience, all you're hearing as Tobiashi trying to say, "Are you alright?" Probably what you're hearing from your point of view is because everything is being dimmed out.
I think the next course of action is slapping the shit out of him with my key points.
Yeah?
Like, wake up! Wake up right now!
I'm pretty sure that that would distract Remy as he's trying to cast.
Yeah, I should hope so.
As he's trying to cast.
I would assume he's already
I
distracted.
mean, if it distracts Remy, I honestly, I don't care. I've been trying to talk to him this whole time, and he's blowing fire out of his mouth. I'm
Lightning.
smacking. You just see my hand glow up. Yeah, lightning. You just see my hand glow. I slap him right in the
All
face.
right.
I'm like, wake up!
For you, Remy, there was a moment where this was getting to be epic. You know, you've never seen audience pour out that much energy from his mouth, and whoa, whoa, whoa! You completely forgot you were ritual casting the Liamon's tiny hut, and then you just see him start screaming, and the color of the energy changes, and he falls to the ground,
And I'm just
heaving, and
I'm just like, you can't leave now. Why are you leaving? And I just slap him a couple more times.
How much damage do I take if you're using key points?
If I'm using flurry of blows,
You gotta-
go up.
You gotta roll to hit,
Alright.
but you can roll
All right,
to hit with
let me
advantage
roll
because
the
I'm
hit.
prone.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So the first hit, that's not good. That's a 2 + 7.
Well, you
Second hit,
roll with advantage. You roll with advantage because I'm prone, technically.
he's prone, and he's not
A
really
20
trying to
hit.
defend himself.
Yeah.
then since I'm using key points, does the 22 hit?
22 hits.
Yes.
Oh my god, my headset unplugged. 1 second.
Now, Remy, you even see Tobiashi
Yeah.
starts pummeling the audience with
They're
slaps.
just beating the shit out of the audience.
So does it hit?
Yes,
Yes, it
22
does.
hits.
Okay. And then I'll hit you with the next key point because I said I'm using key points. So 2 more hits.
Okay.
You see Tobiashi going at it like a first line respondent that completely failed his class, and instead of giving him a slap that will help to shock him back into reality, he's just
Punch you in my face.
pummeling him into it nothingness.
So 25
so
is the
Raimi
next one to
is
hit. and
Pulling
25
out
is
the
the next
special
one.
knife, the bad boy
And,
knife.
Yeah, Jorga's also wants to attempt to restrain him.
18 is the next to hit.
18
So,
will not hit. You hit with the 22 and the 25.
Yeah, 22 and a 25. Okay, so I do.
Oh.
What is it? So I'm using my hand.
Yeah, it's bludgeoning.
1d6. So 2d6, right?
Yeah.
You're a monk.
So 6. The first one is 9 points of damage,
Okay.
and then the
Wait,
next one is 7 points of damage, and then you see like them pulling me off of him.
16.
Well, no, I think
Pulling
first
lava.
Remy.
Toby sensed weakness and is trying to kill audience. He's trying to take his chance.
I saw that happen, and
I'm
I was like,
just-
"You can't fucking die right now!" Like I'm
He's
just
trying
like,
to take the chance
"Don't
he has.
fucking leave us!"
Remy,
like, we're
roll
here
your
alone.
attack. Roll your
They're just like,
attack,
hitting the
Remy.
shit out of you, trying to
All
wake
right,
you
I
up.
was waiting for permission.
So I did
Yes.
that much points of damage, and then they start pulling me off and stabbing me, and I'm just
oh,
like,
what do you know? Well, that's
don't-
"What are you
funny
guys
of you.
doing? I'm trying to fucking wake them up."
You're not a healer.
So,
And that's all I do.
Remy, how much damage do you do to poor Tobiashi? Well, false damage.
Yeah, just give me a hot second, because basically, like, Raimi has like thrown the knife at you because he wasn't going to waste time trying to.
Honestly, you're lucky. I think you're lucky you started beating the shit out of audience. He did pull out his actual dagger.
Well, I mean, I was like in the middle of screaming it. I'm like, I can't lose another person. This can't happen now.
As you punch
And-
me in the face.
As I fucking plummet you to death. I'm like,
give
if
me
you
a
can't
second.
survive this, you can't survive at all.
5, 8, 10, 14.
I mean, I've seen you take more damage, so
Yeah. It's true, I guess.
18.
it's not like key-filled
21.
attacks are gonna kill you.
Well, if audience was about to pass
27,
out, but I think Toby fully knocked
30.
him out.
Just like, wake up.
34. Oh
I'll
god.
hit you with a.
These D4s.
I was-
38.
Audience was having a stroke and was maybe gonna come back, and then he got punched in the face twice while having a stroke.
43 false piercing damage as a kitchen knife is like thrown at Tobiashi's back.
Oh, so it's not real
43.
damage? It's not real damage,
No, it's
right?
the pacifism
it
knife.
feels like
You feel
43
it.
damage, though.
Alright, I used another key point. I sock him again.
Audience, you get 11 health from me.
Okay.
Tobiashi, you
restrain
are
Toby
hitting
and
you are
do a
hitting
healing
audience
one.
once more.
I would like to hit him again. Yeah. Just one more time.
Wait,
Just one more
can
time.
can I
I've
roll as
taken-
a grapple against you?
Hold on.
Oh yeah,
hold
go
on.
ahead. Roll the
Why
grapple.
is Toby trying to kill us?
No, I'm not
going
trying to
for
kill
your
you. I'm trying to
arms
wake you
to
up,
try
and this is the
Yeah,
only
you're trying
way.
to wake me up?
Yeah.
Sure.
Straight into the next
And-
world.
Sure you are.
I do love how
like, let me
Tobiyashi is
know
just
what you
taking
roll.
40 plus
Oof.
points of, like fake, but still very much felt damage, and is still able to function.
I got a
It's
5
fine.
on my strength
I have
against
71
you,
points of
so
health.
you're probably not restrained. But I do
Wait,
yell
what?
at
Okay, hold on.
I rolled-
One person at a time. George,
Okay.
what are you saying?
I rolled a 5 as a strength check against Toby
Okay.
to try and restrain him.
Wait, you rolled a 5 against
Yeah.
my.
You have to
my
you have to
strength.
roll contested strength against him.
What, a
You gotta
strength?
beat a 5.
You don't have to roll much. You're a monk. You're squiggly.
I rolled a 13.
Yep.
Okay, yeah.
George
But-
does not restrain you when you try and hit me again.
No, but I did yell a healing word at audience action.
Do you think, even though I was tortured so much and blown up and stuff like that, would I feel, since I'm in so much rage trying to wake him up, would I feel
You
getting
would
hit
feel
by
it.
Remy?
Oh,
I don't
no,
think-
I know
absolutely.
I'd feel it.
You,
Yeah, I'd
you've
feel
received
it, but like,
you've received more than 50% of your damage. This is the same thing of your total hit points. This is the same thing as someone shoving a knife in your guts.
yeah.
So of
You would
course
feel
you
it. It
feel
would not. It would not incapacitate.
I guess. Okay, so what I'm saying is, I guess I would look at where the knife came from.
It's sticking
And look,
out of
just-
one of your shoulder. There is about an inch of blade going through your shoulder.
I'll just look at Remy like straight in the eyes, kind of like with this intense look, like I want him to be alive, and then just turn over to audience again and just slap him right in the face as hard as I can.
I feel like Remy's gonna take that as a challenge, but okay.
And then after I slap him in the face, let's see
You
if this
hit me.
hits. What is it? An unarmed strike? 13, 14.
I like that you struggle to hit me even with advantage when I'm prone and not.
I mean, I know. Wait, with advantage? Okay.
You know what?
I
I'll
wa- I
say
wasn't
because
rolling
my
with
shield
advantage
isn't
at all.
actively like defending myself, I'll take away 3 AC too. Even though that's not how it technically
Right,
works, but I am nothing.
24 to hit.
Yeah, that'll hit anyway.
All right, so
Okay.
I would imagine that for this round of torturing audience, Jorg, Remy, you'd probably be trying to do something, and Sichet is also going to try and do something.
Well, George failed. George tried to.
I tried and failed.
George tried to
Grab
apprehend
Toby.
Toby.
So Remy, initiative between you and Sichet to see who acts first.
All right.
9 points of damage if I do. I hit him, so 9 points of damage.
The chase things might work better at this level, but we'll see.
After I smack him in the face, I'm just
0.
going to shake him as much as I can.
Shake a man who's having a heart
15.
attack. Excellent
You beat her roll.
strategy.
I'm just trying to get him up, man. Toby doesn't know what's happening. You
Audience
blew
getting punched in the
a
face.
whole bunch of lightning out of your mouth and started to have a heart attack. So
All right.
Toby
in
is
which case,
freaking out.
In which case,
I'm
Raimi
cool.
is going to, like, reach into his bag, and he is going
Oh.
to like throw the.
That last
Yeah.
slap fully woke up audience, Toby. Good job. I rolled a con save, and on that last slap, I rolled a nat 20 plus 2.
You just see me sitting there with my hand over your face. I'm just like, wake the fuck up!
So all right, so Remy, what were you describing?
Like as he's just like throwing what appears to be like a ball of glitter, as he just like explodes it on Tobiyashi, and is going to basically like subject him to Tasha's hideous laughter.
All right, I believe it's a wisdom saving throw.
What do I have to? A wisdom
It is
saving
wisdom.
throw?
It was a wisdom
5
saving
plus
throw.
6 to that. I rolled an.
I don't know what he's doing here.
He's trying to
see
show
it?
us what he rolled.
No.
I can't read that.
Just tell us what you
You're-
rolled. We believe
It's a
you.
natural 20.
Okay.
He does not.
So I rolled a natural 20 plus 3 right now because it's not with my
It doesn't matter. You're not failing to Tasha's if you roll the nat 20.
Okay.
You're lucky I'm not a level 9.
thing. I'm surprised I even made it. I roll horrible in this campaign.
Well,
so...
Sashay, prepare to do your worst thing.
Yeah, so Shay needs to do something now.
Audience is also awake. I might be
After
worried.
I woke
might be
audience
worried.
up.
I might be worried about the fact that audience woke up and you were just laughing.
All right. Tobiashi, would you please make a charisma saving throw, please?
Charisma? Oh no.
Oh no! Not a good charisma.
16 flat.
You are not getting the +2 from audience right now, by the way.
Obviously.
Let me know, did he succeed or fail?
He failed because she has a magical object which gives
Okay.
her a +1, and the save without the object is 16.
It's 16, yeah.
Alright, I don't have to waste 2 spell slots. Go ahead. Or, like 2 sets of spell points.
All right, so you see, audience, you start waking up from this as even though your hearing is impaired, your vision is starting to recover from this tunnel vision, and you see Tobiashi in the middle of trying to slap you again, and you just see
With
him.
a glowing hand.
You just see him. He's not there anymore. She just banished him.
Oh, he's so lucky.
Where am I at?
He's so lucky he just got banished. Because you were about to get divine smited by audience. Audience was not going to be
No.
happy. You were lucky you just got divine smited. I mean, you got banished. Alright.
You see,
Audience just going to kind of come to, see Toby disappear, just look around, be like,
and you see Sashay holding one hand closed. You recognize this motion when she tried to banish the Mincha.
why the hell was Toby trying to kill me?
I don't know.
Were you defending yourself against him? Is that why you used your breath?
No, I was just trying out my new breath. It was causing. It apparently is not fully functioning. I'm gonna need to have a talk with my dragon friend inside of me because I think it gave me a heart attack. But why was Toby trying to kill me after I had a heart attack? Has he been waiting for this moment?
I don't know.
So, I can only hold
Obviously
this
got a
for a
plot
minute.
against us.
I can only hold this for a minute. I can try to pacify him when he comes back.
You just see audience drawing his sword.
So-
Let him out now.
Yeah, we're
Wait,
we're
wait,
gonna
my question is,
ready
when I
actions
disappear-
to hit him when he reappears.
When I
Why don't
disappear,
you let him out?
Yes?
when I disappear, what do I see?
I believe you are just being shoved into the astral plane. Is that it? I guess.
It's basically a personal demiplane, and they're incapacitated the whole time.
All right, so I'm
Unless
in.
Tobiashi happens to be from another plane of existence, in which case,
All right, yeah.
So can I make my demi-plane?
No. You're just being shoved into a small dimensional pocket somewhere else. You're probably just floating there, as if you were in space, surrounded by
floating-
this purple mist.
If I'm floating kind of just like in nowhere, not knowing what happened, I think I'm just gonna sock 2 times.
Start throwing punches into the mist.
Yeah, I'm just throwing punches into the mist.
Oh, so when you come back, you're just gonna be swinging.
No,
The first one
technically
hits
you're
the mist.
incapacitated, so you can't really do anything. But yeah, sure, you can
Yeah,
throw your
yeah,
punch
yeah.
while you're in there. Audience is gonna have stood up, so it's gonna be in for nothing. I don't know.
16 to hit nothing.
Well, you hit nothing.
I'm just,
Or does it have an
I'm just floating there.
AC?
Yeah, audience is just like pulling out his sword outside, just like, no, why don't you let him out?
Now,
maybe he just starts walking over. It's like, I don't know where he got the sharpening stone, but it's just like, taking a dagger. Just like,
now, come on. He probably has a very good reason At least give him a chance to explain.
All right, I'll give him a chance. You might want to stand back, Sashay.
Well, I can pacify him as soon as he come out.
No, you don't need to pacify him. It's Toby. I'm sure he was just being an idiot. Audience will say this legitimately. After all, he did kill a man once when the guy was just trying to have an honorable duel. He doesn't care if Sashay knows that now. He's not feeling good towards Toby.
All right, the spell's almost is ending. Get ready, and she releases it at the end of the minute, and you see Tobiyashi just reappear where he is mid punch.
Toby, you got 5 seconds.
Okay, if I have 5 seconds, I'm gonna grab audience by the collar.
You're gonna grab audience?
Oh my
I'm
God.
gonna grab
Hit
audience.
you? I don't think that's a smart idea.
No. That's fine. That's fine. This is what Toby would do. I'm gonna grab audience. I was like, as soon as I materialize back.
He tries to grab audience. By the way,
That's fine. I grab him by the shoulders since he doesn't have a shirt on. I grab him. You do have a shirt?
Yeah, the
okay, then I'll
ripping
grab
shirt.
you by kind of like the lapel, if you know what that means. Yeah, I'll grab you by the lapel, kind of like pull it in, kind of. And I'm like, you can't just leave us here after doing everything that you've done. Like, this isn't the time. Like, there's no reason, even if you're testing something, to just leave us here.
Why do you think he's gonna leave us here?
I think he means dying.
Wasn't
And
audience
that's just what I'm
die.
gonna say as I'm holding his shirt close to me.
I'm gonna make a roll.
Toby, if audience died, I can bring him back.
I don't want him to be brought back. This isn't the point.
Well, Remy, with your passive insight, you can actually notice. You can actually see that
I'm
Tobiyashi is
shaking.
genuine. He was
I'm
scared
shaking.
that audience had just died from heart
Audience
attack.
has no idea if Toby's genuine or not with a 7.
I'm kind of like holding on to you, but I'm like shaking
I'll
at the
do it.
same
I'll do it
time.
with advantage. You're doing pretty. I'll roll with advantage actually.
Yeah, I'm shaking at the same time, kind of like trembling. Just like holding on to your shirt.
All right, we'll take a 14. It's over 10. All right, I believe you're genuine.
I'm just like, you can't just leave us here.
Yeah. Okay, audience will sheath his sword. We'll be like, okay, Toby.
I'm looking very aggressively in your eyes, but the rest of my body is kind of like shaking in fear that you're gonna attack me. I'm just like,
I understand where you're coming from. Don't ever
Raimi-
hit me in the face again, or it will
Raimi
be
is
the
going
last
to-
thing you do.
Actually, to emphasize that point, Raimi is going to not safely remove the knife from Tobiyashi's shoulder.
I just feel it. I'm like, I know you're not exactly what I thought you would be from the beginning, but we still need you. As he's pulling it out of my shoulder, I'm just like,
still
ugh.
need me. All right. I'll be like, okay, Toby. I just Jorg. If we ever have a medical issue on the squad, don't let Toby anywhere near the body, please.
I will
I'm putting
not.
you in charge of that.
Yeah, if I do, he's paying for the diamond.
Man tried to punch me while I was having a heart attack.
I tried to stop him.
I'm still holding on to your shirt. I'm like, I wouldn't do this to anybody else but you. You hold more than anybody else in this party. You're the one that's been taking us through this all. All these decisions have been your fault.
Okay, we're getting inside down Toby now. All right.
Toby is afraid and shaking.
Okay. Honestly, good job, Toby. You spoke to audience ego. I'm gonna take that.
Yeah, his ego is having a boner.
No, Nice job. All right, Toby, it's all right. You could let go of me now. I'm here. Fine.
All right, I'll slowly let go of him. Like, I have more things I want to talk about, but I'm drained.
Raimi is going to drag
later.
Tobiyashi by his shirt.
No, actually, when I see, I'll be
restarting
like
the
Remy.
hut.
I'll be like Remy. I actually will. I'll be like Remy. Leave Toby alone. We're gonna give him the credit on this one.
No, Raimi is going to hold up a talon. And if Tobiyashi lets him, Raimi is going to push him to the ground.
Ooh.
I guess I would let him. I have nothing against Remy. Remy has been fine this whole thing, so I'll let Remy. I'll just sit there.
15 points of healing.
And Raimi is going to say, "Now pay attention." And Raimi is going to start imitating CPR on you.
Remy is
Yes.
giving you a lesson in stabilizing someone.
I'll look at him. I'm like, I've read about this before. That's not what I
He
was
puts the
trying
talon
to
over.
do.
He puts the talon over your lips. Now
Well,
watch
the
carefully.
worst thing you can do to someone who's dying is hit them and slap them.
Also,
And
is
Tobiyashi
our
starts
dome
trying to speak
dome
again.
up? I need a sleep after that.
And if Tobiyashi starts trying to speak again,
I'm pretty sure
Raimi
that
will
was-
just move on to mouth to mouth.
No.
Oh my!
oh,
George
oh.
grabs some popcorn
Damn.
and sits down.
Yeah, I try to mumble something. I'm like, oh.
Well, you did go on a date, both of you.
I'm just looking at Remy kind of like straight in the eyes, like with fury. Just straight fury in my eyes while trying to speak.
Toby, I didn't know you felt that way about Remy. Damn. Get in there.
Audience feels a pang of jealousy.
Audience feels no pangs.
And when it's over, Remy looks at the audience. Well, he didn't have to use the tongue, also.
I know. I just feel
Yeah,
the
you
tongue
hold the
wrapping
tongue
around
out of the
mine.
way
I'm like,
with your tongue.
So, yes,
Alright.
of course, Sichet, while Remy is giving Tobiyashi lessons in what started CPR, but now it's making out, Sichet will put up the dome.
Hey, I might need some practice
Shay,
too.
can you
Shay,
give me
wanna
some?
practice?
Oh,
Okay. Yeah, let's be
We're doing it at the same time.
We went the
We're
same.
gonna.
After Remy's done making out with me,
Audience,
um,
do you actually say this to Sichet? Okay, because I was gonna say she's gonna answer, I can pacify you.
Audience, I can use some
After-
practice.
after Remy's done making out with me and the dome is over us, I'll kind of like sit off to the side, a little bit furious, but still kind of like controlling my anger. I'll look over to audience real quick. I'm like,
Audience is asleep.
He
the
just had a
dome
heart
just went
attack.
up.
Yeah, audience passed
You
out.
will never
Audience
get
just
his
had a
attention.
heart attack. He did the thing where he touched the ground and he passed out.
All right, if
You
I
just-
see
you
audience
just look-
passed out,
You just see Fisher who's there. And I didn't see it coming. You get the feeling he's talking to Terranat, and no, I didn't see this coming at all.
if I see audience asleep after that, I guess I'd take out a piece of paper from my sleeve that's left. It has some writing on it still, but I take out a little piece and kind of like rip it out of the rest of the writing, and I'll just say we need to talk, and I'll put it on audience's chest, and I'll go to bed after making out with Remy. His tongue was just wrapped around my whole tongue, trying to keep me from talking. Don't know how to feel about that for the minute, but I'll go to bed on it.
Was that your first kiss, Toby?
I think it was Toby's first
Well,
kiss,
it's
yeah.
definitely the first bird one. I don't know about the rest.
All right. Audience is also very much trying to talk to his little dragon, so I don't know if that's a wisdom roll. Or...
Yeah, I'll have you make.
That sounds more like a charisma roll, the way that you put it. But...
Well,
Well,
no,
it-
he's been trying to reach his little dragon for a while because he's trying to ask him. He's trying to ask. Yeah, the way I said that is interesting. Yeah, okay. But
He's been trying to reach his little dragon for years, but finally.
Yeah, I realized as I said it, I went, "Yep, that I see now what you mean." As it sounds, but no, because he still needs to get the information of what he's actually supposed to fucking do. And now that he had a heart attack, he really wants to know what to do. Oh, that's a 19 on the roll.
Okay.
Ooh.
I sure would be so jealous if he was here.
Can Jor give you advantage by spooning you in your sleep to help you sleep?
I mean, the only roll I can get better than 19 is a nat 20.
He doesn't need another one.
It's worth it.
Do you want to?
No.
You want to spoon me? I don't think
No,
it gives me
I'll-
advantage.
And you might
won't.
make Remy jealous.
Yeah, that's a good point. I'll just sleep with my dog, but not in a weird way.
All right.
I think we need to get our minds off of weird stuff right now.
Yeah. Now that's about to become an OnlyFans episode.
All right,
Patreon.
so audience, as you fall
Did we
asleep.
confirm your ship?
Yeah, no, absolutely. You know, you can get the rest of the episode on Patreon, where
you can get the alternate version of this episode on Patreon, where audience started making out with Jorg, and then
where you learn that Sachet is actually just a fabrication in audience's mind, and it's actually someone else in the group that he's projecting his feelings. So you fall asleep and thinking very much about the image of the dragon you saw in your mind, being thrilled about the partial success of this endeavor. And surprisingly enough, you manage to control this to the point where you find yourself walking in this beautiful meadow. You see the sun, and you see that tree stump of a house, that gigantic tree stump of a house in which this dragon lives. you see a little bit of smoke coming out of one window. It feels like someone just finished putting out a fire. And you arrive. You push.
I'll knock. You know what? I'll knock. It's
Okay.
his house. I'll be polite. I'm pretty sure he's living in my body, but I'm still gonna knock.
You hear, 1 minute. I need to clean up something. You hear a whole bunch of roughness inside it. Something being tossed around, something being washed.
On his things. God, I hope my heart's okay.
And then after a moment or so, you hear, yeah, you can come in. Hold on.
Oh,
Okay, now you can come in.
okay. I'll open the door. I'll be like, so, that
Hi.
happened.
Now, how about that new gold that you promised me?
The new gold.
You see,
Yeah,
he has one dagger with a cable linked to him in his hand, and it's just put him behind his back.
We're
The gold.
We're working on it. Unfortunately, there doesn't seem to be a lot of money on this island that I have been sent to. Or everyone seems to be actually poorer than me.
Oh no, I'm sure there's something to be found. There's probably magical object everywhere. You can just look around.
I've been looking. I'll let you know if I find anything. Unfortunately, so far it's been a lot of helping people, but a lot of very few rewards.
Well, that's good for the soul.
Yes. The soul has been
But the body
mightily
wants
fit.
gold. And that body is also important because the soul lives in the body.
Yeah. No, I'll keep working on it. If I have a chance to find some gold, I'll get it for you. But yeah. So I have the wire that you said was going to help with my breath weapon. I don't remember what else I had to do though. Can you remind me?
Oh yes, a very powerful blessed object something that has some real strength to it. You know, something probably made by a god, a relic of some sort, maybe an artifact.
Right.
Make sure that it's been blessed, made by a good god. You know, someone that you can really rely on, that has a lot of, you know what I mean.
Let me. All right. And then what was the other thing you there? I felt like there was one other thing you needed me to do as well. Need blessed.
The wires, but yeah, you said you had the wires. No,
Yes,
I did,
I bought.
I did ask
Right.
you for a magical object because I mean, gold is fine, but collections needs to have a little bit more. You know, something to impress the people when they visit. You know,
Yeah,
it's
I
fine.
will
and,
also I will also look for magical objects. That all comes as I said. This island has been fairly barren as of the moment with gold and
it
magical.
really doesn't have to be trinkets or weapons or armor. You know, magical pieces of art works also. Actually, it's very impressive when you show someone, look, I have this tapestry, and everything moves on its own. It always impresses everyone.
If I see some magical art, I'll see if I can get it. Again, have not found any.
All right. Well, that's everything. That's everything I needed for now.
All right. I would say for now, until you can maybe fix things up a little bit, I would say let's not try that again, especially in combat. I would prefer to not pass out in the middle of combat to a heart attack. Let's hold off
Oh,
until
you felt that outside.
Yes, I did feel that. I thought I was going to die.
Right.
The lightning was very impressive, though.
Good.
Maybe it could be like a last ditch kind of thing, but like I will probably pass out if you use it
In the current state.
in the current state. So
Yes, all right.
yeah, in like a
So-
last ditch maybe, but like if it's not like a last ditch, probably don't use it.
All right. So find new wiring to do this instead, in case there is an emergency.
Yeah.
Right. You said you already have the wiring. Well, let's.
Yes, I do. I do have the wiring. I got the wiring you required beforehand, but I just don't have the blessed object.
No. Well, it would actually help to sustain this because you know the wiring that I have just melted off after the first few moments of a
I
breath
see.
weapon.
I will reach into my pocket. I don't know if it's in my pocket.
Well, it's a dream. So you reach into your pocket and you pull out this entire spool of enchanted wiring.
Yeah. Here's the wire that I bought.
Oh, interesting. And he reaches for it and pulls on it a little bit. Interesting. Very fine. Very malleable. And oh.
It even has the essence of a god dragon in it, because that's what it's from, or it should.
Yeah, I'm not sure about God part, but yes, it's from a dragon.
Yeah.
Intriguing.
Well,
Intriguing.
it's from a dragon that I believe. What's it called? It kind of went to the next level of existence. I don't know what the.
Right.
I found it in a mountain where like the entire mountain was pretty much the dragon, but the dragon had kind of moved on with its soul to the next plane or the next like level.
Oh,
I'm not exactly sure.
I didn't know you had dragons like those here.
I haven't met any current dragons like that, but this one did it.
Well, to be honest, I know they exist, but no one's ever talked to me about finding one here. I mean, this is huge news. This is incredible.
Yeah.
I mean,
It's. Were you with me when we went to that dwarven mine the second time around? I think you were.
I've been here ever since you picked me up.
Yeah. The dwarven mine that we went to, where we got those crystals. That was it. That's the mountain where it occurred.
Crystals, you say? Oh, that's also
Yeah, the magic
interesting.
crystals.
That's also interesting. Maybe if you could get a few of those crystals, you know.
I could see I could get some crystals maybe when I get back. The garden definitely has some of them.
They'd be nice on display, of course, but I don't know. Maybe there's something more I can do with this. That's very interesting.
Yeah, we actually fought a whole golem made of the crystals. It was interesting.
Really?
Yeah.
The
It
possibilities. Because I mean, I just tried to. Well, you know, ever since you came back from that dream, I felt like your breath weapon was laughable at best.
Damn.
and,
He's not wrong.
and you know, I've been trying to figure out ways to increase this, to make this a little bit more potent. I mean, I don't know about the god who made you, but damn, that whomever that entity was, he didn't care a whole lot about you. You feel like a slag of molten iron that's just been left on the floor to cool down slowly.
Ouch.
That makes me feel bad about my thunderclap that I used on him.
Ouch. Getting roasted.
You know, it's that god really didn't care all that much about you. I mean, you're forced with every generation to just teach the new ones how to not go feral, so they just don't go into murderous rage. I mean, that sounds more like someone who wants to keep you as slave than anyone important.
I think we were very much built in the image of the dragons with very, unfortunately, little of their actual power.
Well, but there's a whole bunch of potential inside of you, you know, it's just boiling out of strength, and there's a way to exploit this. It's just the problem is that it just keeps boiling and boiling and boiling. So this is why the wiring just all melted. But I tried to plug your essence directly into your breath weapon. And well, there was this little problem of your heart couldn't take it, and it's probably a good thing that everything melted, because I didn't take into account that you could snuff out your own soul. I didn't warn you about it, so that's okay. That's on me.
Okay. Let's maybe figure those things out next time before we do any more experiments. I'd prefer if my soul didn't get stuffed out.
That's why the magical object is for. That's why I want this relic, because maybe trying to plug this into instead with the magical wiring might be interesting. Might be able to give a little more oomph to that thing you call breath.
If this mission is successful, we should be heading to a place that definitely might have some very powerful, blessed magical objects.
Okay.
It is a place of, like, it is a spire of magic, so...
Oh, that's good.
I'll see what's around, maybe if we have some extra time while we're in there.
All right. Well, I have stuff to do, a bit of cleaning, and a whole lot of cleaning, because actually every gold piece we have now smells like burnt steak.
Oh, I'm sorry.
That's okay. That's okay. You know, it's not your fault that your breath weapon
Weak.
is so saggy. That's
saggy.
That's all you. That's your. That's all on your god.
I thought I was young and perky.
There's a metaphor in here somewhere. But
Saggy,
only I can just put my hand on
saggy
it.
breath weapon.
All right. Well, thanks for letting me know. I'll look for that blessed object, and I'll also look for any more magical objects in art along the way. And yeah, don't let's not use that breath weapon again unless we're in emergency. All right. I'll catch you later. I mean, you'll be here, but I'll talk to you.
Um,
Talk to you later.
there's one thing I'd like to do while falling asleep or meditating before I go to sleep.
Mhm.
I want to see if I could, because I'm deeply trying to, since I was trying to wake up audience, is try to seek advice from my sensei, which is
Mhm.
the guy who taught me how to use the silken way.
Mhm.
Would I have to roll anything?
For you, it's literally just praying and hoping that one god carries your prayer to him. So, godly.
All right. I'm hoping on the Chaos God because, it's about that time. I've been using him for a while now.
All right, so you're trying to reach a god. I'd go with charisma.
Charisma. Oh, that's my worst roll.
When you're actively trying to connect to a god, the wisdom is more meditating and hoping that a god hears you, while charisma is literally trying to
So,
reach out.
18. Flat.
18. All right. So, you isolate yourself inside of this dome while there is a raging storm outside. This blizzard. It's with very fine snow everywhere. It feels like you're in a desert storm, but it's all white instead of beige.
The chaos is happening.
There's something slightly meditative about the situation, about the chaos outside and the stillness inside, as Remy is looking at you funny, and Jorg wondering if you're going to just start attacking audience again.
Or me. Maybe I'm next.
So, you take a moment and you look up and go into this praying position and think about this for a long, long while. And then, what do you say?
I would say, if I was speaking to him, this isn't the path that I think that I'd be traveling on to become who I wanted to be. But I feel like it's helping me a lot. I'm just looking on to advice for where I should be going next, and if helping these people is the right path. And I want to know really how you're doing. I haven't seen you in a very long time. And you're the only one from the monastery that I've actually cared about. So, if this gets to you, I'd like to know your opinion on everything. I've tried to connect to my gloves, but with no avail. And you're really the only one that I want to know the opinion about. So, I hope you're doing safe. You are safe, and let me know what you think. And between all that, I kind of let him know exactly everything that's happening, that we've been through and getting to this island and stuff like that.
All right. So, you wait for a moment after you give this speech, and knowing full well that there is a high chance that Remy heard everything you just said.
Mm-hmm.
You look around for a moment, look into this storm outside. You can swear for a moment, just a single moment, you saw two glowing eyes, and one gave you a wink. You just shrug your head and shrug for a moment and look again, and you can't see it anywhere. So, you think something got through. You're not sure what. And you're not sure what answered. On a personal level, you can even call it on the meta level, you've just unlocked one possible quest for yourself later on. Just letting you know.
Okay. All right. And then after seeing that and kind of not seeing it afterwards, I'll get my bedroll ready, kind of relax after everything, after almost beating audience to death. After seeing him asleep and still alive, I'll rest my head and go to bed.
As you're opening your bedroll, Suchet comes next to you and sits down. She looks at you. And, you know, we have no control over who lives and who dies. Sometimes people that we want to be with us all of our lives, they can't stay. Sometimes it's because there's something better for them to do somewhere else. Sometimes it's because they have done everything they could, and this is the end of their road. I understand. Believe me, I really do. What losing someone means. And I understand how distressed you can feel. But it's something you have to accept if it happens. And quite honestly, you almost made it happen, so.
Well, I understand that. And it's not that I didn't want him to die, because, in my opinion, if he did, then, you know, that's kind of what happens in the kind of work we're doing at this moment in time. But I don't feel like he's done enough. Like you said, he hasn't done enough on this plane to rectify what he's done. I left him. He was the first person I met coming out of my monastery. And I care about him a lot, yes. But when I came back, it felt like he's not in it for what we started for. He's trying to do something else, and it's not totally in line with what I wanted to do. And sometimes that happens. You just grow apart from people after a while. So I just want to let him know that I don't think he's done enough. And to maybe change what he's doing, since there's still time. I spent a lot of time being tortured by kind of a cultist thing, and I feel like maybe that's what he's trying to do in the long run, but I haven't seen his religious symbol anywhere or seen anything about dragons being gods. So there's just a lot that I'm trying to get used to, I guess.
Well, I've never seen
About
a
this
dragon in
happening.
person, so
I guess I've only seen one, but it wasn't in person. It was through a being that was controlled by the dragon. So
well, just
there's a lot to go through.
Just remember, the problem is that we don't control any of this. If he has accomplished what he is supposed to, or if he has reached the limit of what he can do, gods can recall their servants, their followers, their children, and there's nothing you and I can do. All you can do is do your best while they're there.
Even if it's a bad thing they're trying to do.
It doesn't mean you have to let them make horrible mistakes, but some mistakes they need to do in order to realize that it is a mistake.
I understand. And that's kind of why I tried to reach out to someone right now. I think I know where you're coming from. Knowing we've lived two separate lives from two separate places. But I understand what you're saying. If there's anything you want to know more of on the outside, you could always ask me.
Well,
I don't like to keep people closed off on information.
That's okay. Well, don't worry about it, because even when we'll reach the next library, I can still contact you. And she takes her book, shows it again. I always, so long as your name stays in here, I can send you messages and you can answer.
That's good. Is that even if I'm off this island anywhere?
I don't know. I've never tried on someone outside of this island.
Okay. Well, if I ever do leave, if we ever do leave, just send me a message if I'm gone for more than a week or something,
I will.
and I'll try to answer.
All right, I will.
All right, well, I think it's time for us to get to bed. See if I could talk to audience tomorrow about some things, but other than that, thank you for your help. I appreciate it.
Well, so long as it could help, and I'm happy to have given my assistance. Well, have a good night.
And I'll roll over and go to sleep on my roll-out bed.
She gets up. She looks at you, Remy. Troubled person.
What the heck? I can't hear.
Good. You're
All right, you could go now.
No, that's okay. You couldn't hear. You already fell asleep.
I couldn't hear. Okay, that's good. That's good.
Yeah, Rainy just replies, "More than you know."
Probably. I mean, he just mentioned something about being tortured. I don't know how and for how long, but
Not every lost child finds their way.
well, fortunately, my father found me. Well, my adoptive father, I mean. So, I didn't stay lost all my life. And I didn't remain in the dark all my life either, also. Because of him. So, he was a bit strict, but he was a good father.
So Remy does look a bit sad at that, but then
Go.
because like honestly, given the kind of day, I'm assuming that like his he like brought out his familiar for comfort and just kind of like
Probably.
hugs them a bit tighter.
He's probably hugging Twinkling Bell like a Bond villain while he's watching Sichet talk. And he's the right color. Yeah.
Pretty sure Jorg would have heard all that before he fell asleep, right?
Probably. If Jorg wanted to say something, I mean, you're the only one here who hasn't taken a moment to talk to Sichet today, so.
I mean, I don't really have much to say about that. Everyone's entitled to their.
Well, also, you have more perspective on what she might have lived, and the fact that she seems to be, from your perspective, severely overestimating what other people have lived compared to what she has lived. The way she talks, it almost feels like she thinks that it was normal.
Yeah, for her to be treated that way.
And the information you just had, hearing her talk about her father coming later in life, you get the feeling that he might have been the one who interrupted that. He was the saving light in his life.
Wait, did her adopted father he was the one that abused her, right? I don't know that, I guess.
You can't have confirmation of this. The only confirmation that you have right now is that her adoptive father came much later in her life. Depending on when he came, he could have been literally the one who got her out of this. Because she grew up in an orphanage that you've heard her say before. So it could have been the orphanage who treated her the way she was treated, and he got her out. But if he came very early on in her life, then he might have been the one who mistreated her.
Guess we're burning another orphanage to the ground.
Yeah.
Another one? Wait, when's the first one happen?
We haven't burned any orphanage.
So, yep.
Although by all accounts, as Remy is like doing that, it's like, thinking about it, kind of like looking around to see, like, I mean, obviously, like, Fisher is always awake until he's not, but
And I don't think he would try and sleep tonight. He'd go into a sentry mode.
but I think maybe the way he would like at least try to possibly broach this conversation. It's like he would look up Sachet and kind of like a point, like kind of like bring out like a hand over to like the sides of his eyes here, and like and say, "Oh, you've been hurt, haven't you, Remy?"
How is she gonna react to this? When you mention this, you see she automatically try to avert her gaze from you. There's something about this that troubles her deeply. takes a moment and she looks at you and simply state, well, I guess you probably would have been the first one to notice this. Probably being one of the most perceptive member of this group. I was dead. And a creature like her killed me. But someone brought me back. There are a few tears that forms under her eyes. Saved me from that prison between worlds. I don't know who they are. I could not see them when I got up. I could not see for years. I could only see the maw reaching for my eyes and feel them being pulled out, eaten. That's the only thing that I could see for years. Until my father taught me how to read with my fingers. So I was able to read the book that I've always had with me. And she taps on her Book of Shadows. And when I did, I gained new eyes. A bit different. But I could see again. I was no longer in the dark. And now, the maw that took my eyes only came when I slept, and no longer in the day. And I learned that this was done intentionally. I might have overstated what happened when I was born. Maybe exaggerated a little bit. My mother didn't put me at the door at an orphanage. She put me in front of the gate outside of the orphanage. And she let my cries bring my doom. You notice that she can't speak right now. She's holding back a lot of emotions. Takes literally 5 or 6 minutes before she can actually say something else again. Then she just says, "But now I can see. And I have a friend always following me." She has a slight head gesture toward Cuddles. "I wish he had met my father. He probably would have liked him. But my father was very sick, even when he adopted me. So we didn't stay together for long." And that is the story of my eyes.
I think this is something that he would have been told. Just like, but Raimi is actually going to pull out his lantern and and let it light. And if she lets him, he's going to put her hands over the lantern, look up to her, and say in a sage-like voice that others have heard in the party, but I think maybe her for the first time. He says, "You may have been born in darkness, but now that you've found your light, no one else can take it from you."
And if someone tries, there's Cuddles.
They both look in Cuddles' direction, and he's smiling.
Probably. I think that's everything she's going to be able to say. She still has a lot of emotions to put back into the box before she falls asleep. And Jorg, you probably heard some of this, especially if you were paying attention. Now you know that Remy has realized about her eyes, but you know more also.
Yeah.
And the audience slept through it all. All right. Well, if nothing else happens, if no one else wants to say something, she will most likely go back to her corner, go through her little ritual before going to sleep that has been upgraded to a sunrise instead of what looks like a small moon. As she minor illusion what she thought was a sun, and she would go to sleep. And Fisher, looking at all of this, said, "No, I did not see any of this. That is a surprise the entire time. I was speechless." That's just a figure of speech. Come on.
Just like, I just didn't know what to say.
All right. Well, looking at the time, we don't really have time to start moving again, doing a whole lot of stuff, and unless Jorg wants to do something before this episode ends, because like I said, you're probably the one who did the least thing during this episode, so you have the finishing word. If you want to talk with someone, if you want to do something, burst into dance, sing, now's your time.
Jorg won't say anything, but he'll have Frel go over with Sachet to comfort her.
Alright. Well, you just see your dog moving. This adolescent dog now that's starting to be a little bit big.
That lanky, long leg, awkward phase.
Where he seems to stumble on a few things as he's walking. Yeah. So, yeah. Goes behind her. Plops down next to her. She just pets him just a little bit. She looks into his eyes and says, I hope you're not doing this so you can feel me pet your pet.
I'll yell from across the room, nope, I'm over here. Oh, wait, no, I can't hear her because she said that to my dog. So, to test if I could hear her.
Yeah.
So, yes,
Like it was a
I don't
trap.
respond.
That would have been weird if you actually answered. You know, she's sort of 20 feet away from you.
Mm-hmm. No, yep.
Alright, well, she gives him a little, one more pet, and she also goes to sleep. Being very careful that her horns do not poke him in the eyes while he sleeps.
And please don't let him that happen.
Don't
So hear me out. Dog with an eye patch.
Dog, what?
Hug with an eye patch.
Oh, with an eye patch.
That
pirate dog. Alright, well, in that case, and on this episode ends. And wow, is Andre gonna have a whole lot to catch up on, because technically he saw all of this.
He's just been sitting there silent all day.
Yeah, it's his turn to have a turn with the blanket from the nature realm. You just look at him and say, see, it's comforting, huh? Alright, so with this, tonight's episode is going to come to an end. I hope you had a pleasant evening. I hope, let's see, campfires, because that's how we end our episodes. So I hope you had a pleasant evening. I hope you enjoyed the very interesting and, well, I'm not going to say flawless attempt at getting out of trouble, but pretty good attempt at getting out of trouble. In a situation where the entire party could have been wiped out in the middle of a forest, surrounded by enemies that nearly all had ranged weapons. And a little bit of story for Tobiyashi and Sachet, but you know, Sachet is not going to be there every single moment of the rest of the campaign. So, hopefully not because she died, because one of you did something stupid, but...
You won't die.
Certain gods
start-
might have words
we
with
wake up
audience if that happened.
We wake up and Toby's just slapping the shit out of her.
I don't think that would go over well.
No.
I think
No.
Scuddles would murder me.
Cuddles, and right behind Cuddles, in case there's something left, there would probably be Remy, who now knows even more about her, and Audience, who actually wants to know more about her. For some reason, audience, you don't know why, but you dream about this moment where Sachet just opens her heart to Remy as she's talking, and you just can't hear
I mean,
anything.
I dreamed about a dragon. You already know what I dreamed about.
It's not like Toby doesn't think that Sachet has not given enough to this world. She hasn't done anything to me that thinks she hasn't given enough.
No, I think the point is she would never think that. Even more so, she probably permanently thinks that anything she has given, anything she has endured, is nothing compared to what others go through. She probably always has this feeling of either it's nothing or she deserves it because she's a thiefling.
Definitely the average person has died and brought back. Yeah, it's definitely the average villager out there. Their average tale.
You see, she's actually from the Dragon Ball universe where everybody really has died at least once.
Well, other than Goten, and Trunks from their universe, not from the other one.
All right, so
No, even they died in Resurrection F because
that doesn't count. That doesn't count.
I think this is
no,
a good.
it's canon. It is canon.
I think this is a subject for after the stream and not during the stream. So, as always, thank you for watching. We hope you had a pleasant evening. We hope you'll be back next Wednesday or next Friday if you're watching this on rebroadcast. As always, if you're watching this on Friday for the rebroadcast, stay tuned. Because if we get 3 followers or more, 3 viewers or more, we are rating someone. Maybe it's going to be Tobiyashi. Maybe it's going to be Dungeon for Dummies. Maybe it's going to be... Who knows? There are 2 more. They're not always there, but hey. So, we'll see if we get 3 people watching. Because I don't want to go there with only 1 person. Well, I'm pretty sure Tobiyashi wouldn't mind, but the 3 others might find this a little bit... oh, you again. Okay. Alright, so... As I said, thank you for watching. As always, if you enjoyed the show, support us, please. You can support us by following us on Twitch, Twitter, and YouTube. You can support the stream also by making a donation, becoming a Patreon. Right now I have 0 Patreon. That will help a whole lot. You can also subscribe to this channel, because like I said, there's only 4 people subscribed right now. I'd very much appreciate it if there were more. But if you can't do any of those, because I fully understand that some of you are tight on money, and because I am also, I understand your situation. So if you can't do any of those, spreading the word of this channel, leaving a like, all of these things helps tremendously. So, thank you very much. See you next week. And as always, stay safe and stay healthy. Good night.
Good night.
Good night.